his career, Dr. Ismaili
Trying
was
my
a policy
best.
and research advisor
All you could do, man.
issues in the government of Canada. He also teaches a course on the subject at Eastern. Morgan Cunningham, WTIC, 1080.
And this weekend begins the observance of Passover. Over the next week, Jews gather to remember their exodus from bondage at the hands of Egypt. It is a period of reflection.
Tomorrow gonna be a money weight making weekend.
With
We'll
Chabad
see.
Jewish Center in Glass.
Yeah, I said that last time, and I ain't make no money, so I never brought it up again.
Centers throughout the state of Connecticut that we open our doors during Passover.
Now I got everything right now. I got my new equipment. I got 2 new rocks.
For
Okay.
information on this week's
So
meal,
I got the full arsenal of what I need.
65
I'm ready to rock.
422. WTIC News Time 3:04. Checking traffic as we begin the
Mr.
jaunt home
Beckman.
for Friday. We don't find any crashes or any major hassles on the roads, at least at this point. Some delays beginning to build, though, in the Hartford area on eastbound 84 between exits 46 and
Been studying my film, watching E.J. Tackett and Belmonte,
traffic
making sure
56.
I know how to make my adjustments like them.
Who are your
Late
competitors?
road work.
No, these are the number 1 and number 2
Oh.
bowlers in the world.
Gotcha.
Between exits 15 and 14. That should be in the right lane. Should be wrapping up soon. And also some road work in the West Hartford area from 43 and 44. This is 84 East. And that's in the
Shows
left
you what
lane.
I
That
know.
should be there
I didn't
for
know
another
that you can
25
actually
minutes or
watch.
so. Let's check in with the WTIC Weather Center for
what
a
is
look
it?
at the forecast.
Cloudy and breezy for the rest of our Friday afternoon.
what a
with the
game
high at
tape.
51. It'll be
Yeah, study film. You study film live when they have the live tournaments on a tour. You watch that, and you watch all the bowlers bowl, so you see different
only
patterns and different ways that they adjust to those patterns and what ball they switch to when the breakdown happens and all of that good stuff. And then you watch the top 5 battle it out for the $100,000 prize, and you really get to see up close and personal.
I'm moving up this
Then you can always go back on YouTube and
out the
follow people and watch their stuff.
clouds.
But I tend to watch a lot of women more than men, pro women, because men are power and speed.
Cooler with the low
Women
Women
are
are
finesse.
women are precise
Precise,
and
okay.
consistent.
Wednesday.
They hit the same mark every time
And the
because they have to.
All right, it's 50 out there right now.
So they're a lot more consistent. So I tend to watch them a lot.
All over the place this week. The Dow now up nearly 600 points. NASDAQ's up 294 and the S&P up 87. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With a Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves.
Happy
with
Friday,
you.
Jason.
Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Friday the 13th.
This is Dale for Northeast
not
Men's Health,
today.
where we
I know, but you said Happy Friday, Jason. So I just put it together.
take a moment and listen to how we help Marty.
I was a really,
Come on, minute.
I was sleeping like garbage and getting older. The energy level was just in the toilet. And that was what led to me going in. I've been treated at Northeast Men's Health for low testosterone, coming on about 2 years now. Within a few weeks, I started noticing I was sleeping a little bit better. I definitely noticed a higher energy level, but the old man crankiness just went away. I'm able to stay really well organized. Nothing slips through the cracks. Having the T treatment is leading me to keep on top of my game. What I would say to any other guy that is in the same situation where they feel like they're dragging, just call Northeast Men's Health. You won't regret it.
Thanks, Marty. It's true. Low T therapy can dramatically change your life. Your initial appointment is only $99.
Hinton.
Thanks, sir.
And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call today, 800-930-5956, or go to northeastmenshealth.com.
up loud.
It's like a dream come true.
Reese's on the radio.
Yo, let's get it.
Due to the nature of this program, discretion does not exist. It's Reese on the Radio, right now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Oh, and a happy Friday to every one of you. It is the airing of grievances. Don't forget, we always allow the airing of grievance on Friday. But something we're going to start new, where I'm going to be bringing Mrs. on the radio on the show. I am officially, or unofficially, calling it Ladies' Night on Reese on the Radio.
Yes, it's ladies' night, and the feeling's right.
Oh, yes, it's
ladies' night. Oh, what a
night.
yes, it's ladies' night. Oh, what a night.
Sucker count. That's Roseanne and I. We are one of our favorite parts of the film, The Wedding Singer, is when John Lovitz comes out and sings "It's Ladies' Night." That whole scene. For those of you who know the movie, it may not be your favorite, but I know you like that scene. John Lovitz kills that scene, and John Lovitz, in my view, one of the most underrated comedic actors in film, for a long time, and. Even that short little scene in The Wedding Singer, which, again, I love, but you might remember him in the beginning parts of a film called A League of Their Own. He stole that movie in the opening when he's going out to grab all of the girls who are going to be playing in the All-American team. And he's he completely steals that movie from every actor in those scenes in the beginning. And I'm not going to lie, when he finally leaves after he drops off, Gina Davis and I can't remember the girl's name. I think they called her Moose or something like that. The least attractive of them, when he leaves, and they all are like, where are you going? And he's like, what? Are you going to cry? And it turns out he's a complete curmudgeon that at the end of it, they all, kind of want him to stay. They've gotten so used to him. And I feel that same way in that movie. So John Lovitz, one of the underrated Saturday Night Live cast members who's gone on to films that I enjoy. He really, really makes me laugh. So I love that scene. That's why when we thought about doing Ladies' Night, we thought about John Lovitz, and that's why we used that intro. Anyway, welcome to your Friday. I know the weekend's coming. Roland is really excited for Friday, and I know a lot of you are. I am not excited for the weekend. I don't know how many times I have to tell you. However, I will not be bored to tears because this Friday, yours truly has a doctor's appointment. Yes, I'm going to see the eye doctor. So I will not be bored. I will get to sit in a waiting room. They will probably have a TV on, watching something. The last time we went to the eye doctors, they had on some Lilo and Stitch Disney film on there because I guess, I don't know, apparently I was in the pediatric wing of the eye doctor's office. So I'll be doing that on Saturday. What I'll be doing for the rest of the weekend, I don't know. I've cut the grass, so we don't cut it until, every 2 weeks, every other week. So this Friday, I expect to be boring. I'll make something up to do. But my weekends have not been. I've been off for a couple of weekends now, Roland, and I hate it. I really do. I'm bored by 4 p.m. Saturday. Like when 4 o'clock Saturday rolls around, I hate it. And it's just, there's nothing to do. There's nothing open. The only thing you can do on a Saturday, or Sunday for that matter, is spend money, which I don't like to do. So I sit around the house bored, trying to find something on television to watch. I start a movie, 15 minutes in, I hate it, and I cut it off, and then I just sit there and twiddle my thumbs. How do people do this? How do people?
You gotta get yourself a hobby.
This is my hobby. I do this my hobby for a living.
Yeah, well, you gotta get another hobby.
I don't know how these people do it.
Hit the gym on Saturday and Sundays, then go out for a walk, have yourself some ice cream.
You're right. I do have to find something to do.
Things. You know what on Thursday after you get out, after you get off the air, You say, okay, I'm gonna make my plans for Saturday and Sunday, and I'm gonna do this at this time, this at this time. Just have a whole itinerary.
I do. I look up things online to do. I do. Listen to me. I try it. I look up online to things to do. My wife will even do it as well. She was like, "Do you think?" And you know what? I promised myself I was going to be more of a yes guy. The stuff that she's wanting to do, I can't help but say no. She'll say, she's like, there's a flea market where they'll be having, antiques. And I'll be like, no. I don't, because I know I'm going to be bored. You know, it's the most interesting thing that I see at flea markets? Vinyl. But I don't have a record player. Everything I do is digital, so I don't have a record player. So I'm like, no, I don't want to look at old albums. I don't want to do that. Looking at old people's junk, because I really do believe that. And folks, I know some of you might be offended at the whole antique thing because I agree that I believe that it's old people's junk, but I just think it's old people's junk, okay? Stuff that they were really gung-ho about buying and then realized they had no use for it is now trying to trade off their junk to you at a price, a discount for that matter. So I don't want to do that. Okay, outside of bowling, Roland, fine. Let's put your money where your mouth is. Outside of bowling, what are some of the things that you do on the weekend that your wife makes you go to, or at least that you didn't want to go to, that you went to, that you actually had a good time? And I promise you, if it's something, I'll take you up on it. If it's something that you did and you ended up enjoying, I'll do it myself this weekend.
Okay. Well, what I like to do, a lot of times I like to take long drives.
Okay.
And so I'll pick a random restaurant or something that's maybe like 2 hours away.
Really?
And as long as I read the reviews and the reviews are pretty decent.
Okay.
And I look at the menu and I see a couple of things that I may enjoy, then I'll take a drive and drive out there and check it out.
Okay.
Nothing local.
So you'll drive 2 hours, and this is for dinner, not like a lunch or anything.
Well, or I'm a Waffle House head too, so that's 3 hours away. I've drove there before to Pennsylvania, 3 hours away, and
to go to a Waffle House,
just to go get some Waffle House. Yeah.
Now you'll stay. I'm assuming you'll stay in the local area, maybe do some like window shopping or something like that, right?
If it's something interesting out there, yeah, but there's nothing interesting.
No. We did something weird. We drove about an hour away to a town called New Braunfels. And we went there, and we found it was a nice little town. It looked I'll put it this way, it looked like West Hartford. You know what I mean? In a scenic area, it looks exactly like it. And we walked through it, and I just went, oh, actually, this is pretty quaint. I think we'll come back. And it's true. And they were, and the one thing that they had that I have to admit did not like, they had 3 antique stores on one street. We're talking one street, one block. 3 antique stores. And here's the worst part. They were all warehouse big.
Oh, wow.
And one of them had 2 basements, all on the same block. And I'm like, who got rid of all of this stuff? It's like, every one of them was a warehouse full of antiques. 3 of them on the same block. And we're talking a football field worth of stuff in all 3. Not one place was smaller than and I was like, I like the town, but I don't want to have to deal with flea markets or antiques. I just don't. And that's pretty much most of the place were. Estate sales, Lori say. I used to go with them with my ex-wife in New Jersey. Lori, not a fan. They're just like antiques. They're just like antique shops.
Yeah, I just recently we went up to by UMass. I've never been out there ever before. That was my first time going out there. But they had a New Orleans restaurant called Gumbo.
Oh,
so
okay.
I was like, I would like to check that out to see, what they have.
What was it like?
Yeah. I mean, they had a couple of good dishes, but it's not something that I'm like jumping out the window for. That I said, I gotta make sure I come back. But it was if I'm ever out in that area, I'll go by.
Oh.
But they had a nice little shopping, a lot of people walking and
yeah, that kind of stuff.
But it was
like
closed. It seemed like it was like closed in, like it was a secret or something.
Yeah, okay. Now, Lori was saying that the thing that they're filling up the basements with are estate sales. Yeah, you're probably right about that, Lori, because some of the stuff that was there, like we went to one antique place, Roland, that had like shelving and like china cabinets. That's a big thing in a lot of people's houses. They had these china cabinets, and everything we looked at, again, these are antique sales. We didn't find one thing in the china cabinet space that was less than $2,400.
Yeah.
And I was like, and of course, my wife, with her, taste, every one of them we should have brought home. She just looks at them and she goes, "Ooh, this is nice." I'm like, "What's the price?" She looks at it, she goes, and she'll walk away because she knows that I can't justify those kind of prices. She's like, "Nope, never mind." We did find a clearance sale that had a cabinet in there that they wanted, I think they wanted $120 for it. I guess it was like half off. And that one I was willing to get, but there was no way we were going to put it in our car because it was like 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
So we couldn't take it. So, I mean, I'll admit, I'll probably do that this weekend. Now that you mention it, we drove an hour to that town. I'll probably do that again. For a restaurant.
There's a lot that you can do, man.
I
if you
know.
Just put your mind to it and get your mind off of your regular daily scheduled programming and go outside the box a little bit, and then you figure out. Like, I like to go to plays and Broadway shows, so I'll do that with my wife.
Really?
Yeah. I'm a music head.
Okay, so you'll go to a musical. I don't mind.
I go to musicals. Certain ones I'm saying, I'm not going to see that.
That's what, you know what? Thank you for saying that, because you know what? I like musical theater, but it's really, really old stuff. Like, I don't like a lot of the newfangled stuff. It's just too liberal for me. But I do like musical theater. And I'll tell you, you know what? This is going to sound crazy, and I should stop letting it hinder me. I haven't been in a long time to go see a live band play. Usually they're at a bar.
Yep.
And because I don't drink, I don't frequent bars, right? So it's not like I have a fear of, like, if I'm going to be around alcohol, I'm going to drink. It's not that deal. It's just that I don't go to them, so I don't go and see local bands play, which I totally would love to do, because that's, to me, and it's not one of those things that, like football, like I enjoyed more when I drank beer, and I don't think of so much. I really do like live bands because I like live music. So I should actually stop limiting myself to going to a bar or restaurant to go see a live band, because that's something that I enjoy, be it me drinking or not.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Yeah, you don't
they
have
have
to.
live bands that are not at bars. They be like at a restaurant or like poetry night or something like that, where they have a live band and people are doing poetry, but they have drinks. You can order drinks, but it's not like a bar.
And I need to find more trivia night places. Those happen at bars too, but I need to find some of those, because trivia night's actually kind of fun too. You know what? I actually played trivia night with Tom Shattuck.
I heard you won.
Yeah, we did. Back in about 2-3 Christmases ago. We played against Tom Shattuck and Allison. I'm not going to admit, I have to admit, we had a ringer. We had the boy with us, and he knew some of the younger stuff that we didn't know. So he was our ringer. Yeah, so you're right. I got to get into. I got to step out of my my comfort zone.
It's hard to do that though. So I struggle with that. I still struggle with that, because once you set in your ways, you know how you like things.
Yeah.
Even with food, my family is like, they call me real critical, because if it doesn't taste like
what you're used to,
the level of flavor and seasoning and deliciousness that I'm used to, then it's not like it's not good. It's just that it's just okay.
Oh, I hear that. Donald says, "Come to see my band at the Stomping Ground in Putnam." You know what, Donald? Send me a message. I will be there. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, I will be there. I like a good reggae band. I know if your band is a reggae band, I presume, right? I haven't seen a good reggae band since the 90s. So, yeah, I could totally go see a reggae band. That was my thing back at the Lions Den in New York. But you're right. Yeah, I'm going to take you up on that idea. I'm going to drive maybe an hour and a half. I don't like to drive that far.
Yeah, you could. Hour and a half is fine.
I'll drive an hour and a half, and wherever we end up, I'll stop at that local town and then grab some dinner. Or lunch. Yeah, we make it like brunch or lunch. So that so we at least we have an opportunity to walk around and sort of look at an area. But you know what? That's what I'll do tomorrow, if not Sunday. But I'll definitely do that.
You'll get bonus and brownie points if you map it out and have a outlet.
Oh, have a game plan.
Have an outlet nearby. So after you guys eat lunch, you can take her to the outlet and she could do a little shopping.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Let me go to Steve in Waterbury real quick. He's on the line. Hey, Steve, how are you, sir?
Good. How you doing, Reese?
So what is your what do you do to get yourself out of your comfort zone, and do you make your wife pick the place?
Are you talking to me, Reese?
Yes, you. Yes, you.
Oh, okay. you picked up so quick. Well, I'm not married, so.
Oh, okay.
I'm dating somebody quite a bit younger than me. She's gone away to Florida right now.
Wait a minute. Okay, when you say quite younger than you, how many years? Because my wife's 9 years younger than me.
Okay, well, I'm 65. She'll be 40 this month.
Ooh, wow. She can still nightclub at that age.
Oh, yeah. I'll send you a picture. Anyways, yeah, I mean, where are you living now? You in Connecticut now or no?
No, not until this summer. I will be there. In fact, I want to say late spring, early summer.
Okay, because we got a lot of free concerts all over the place.
That I know. That I know.
Okay.
And I love the fact that was one of my favorite things about being in Connecticut is that you would just walk up, show up someplace, and a band is out playing, and they're never a slouch band. That's what I love about Connecticut. It's never a slouch band. It's a local band. And the beautiful part about it is Connecticut's not known to like pick talent up out of nowhere and they become huge. It's a scaled market, so everyone's working really, really hard to sound great. So that's what I love about that. That's what I love about the local band scene in Connecticut.
You ever do a murder mystery theater thing where you have dinner and?
We just thought about that. I did an escape room. Yeah. Lori says that in the chat room too, doing an escape room. I did an escape room once with a good friend. Didn't really enjoy it. It was fun, but it was limited. I don't think it's one that I would do again. But the murder mystery thing, that sounds better than the escape room.
Two more things. We got the Bushnell here in Hartford.
Okay.
Some great shows. There's one I was trying to look it up really quick. It was called Jelly Bean's Last Stand. I think you really appreciate that.
Okay.
It was like set back in the 30s or 40s. I seen it with. I had a girlfriend that worked there at the time, and another couple. And it was just a great show. They do things like Miss Saigon and really like off.
Oh wow! Really?
Really nice productions.
Okay, so off-Broadway productions of Broadway stuff.
I believe so, yeah. And you also have the Hartford stage. I've seen a play with guy who played John Boy on Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah.
At the time. The other thing is we got some great places to hike here in Connecticut. I don't know if you like to get outdoors or not.
I like the hiking thing, but I'm very limited in that. And I do like the whole walk-around thing, but hikes may be a little too much, but it doesn't mean that I won't try it. That much I know about Connecticut. Plenty of hiking areas. Craig is always telling me about going hiking in the area. He's a big hiker. So, yeah, that's something I'm going to
One last thing.
Real quick.
One last thing, too. You go to a bar, you don't have to order an alcoholic drink.
That's right. Exactly. Exactly. I'll do tonic water or seltzer water all night, and my wife can do those. What do you call those? Virgin, is the Shirley Temple non-alcoholic? Is that what that is?
Yeah, Shirley Temple.
Yeah.
Non-alcoholic.
Yeah, that's it.
Shirley Temple Black, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That was her name after she got married.
Good one. Nice one. Thank you, Steve. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. I'm going to explain Ladies' Night to you. I want to ask the ladies a weird question about gift giving. It's one thing that I've sucked at on my entire life. I'll bring that up in a little bit, and we got plenty of news and plenty of views, so stick around. It's Reese on the Radio, NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Taxes?
How you suck at gift giving?
I do. I'm awful at it.
Now taxes?
I guess you actually have to care to give a good gift.
That's not nice.
We're at TurboTax. They'll get you the most money back. Guaranteed.
I didn't say it wasn't accurate.
Then you can do more with all that money. Now this is taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guaranteed details at TurboTax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMS.
Through HIMS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
And now, a WTIC news update.
It's 3:30. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. We'll take a look at the forecast coming up. Not a great one, at least as far as Saturday is concerned. A federal judge chastised a government lawyer who couldn't explain what, if anything, President Trump's administration has done to arrange for the return of a Maryland man who was mistakenly deported last month to a notorious prison in El Salvador. Government attorneys struggled to provide any information today about the whereabouts of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, despite Thursday's ruling from the Supreme Court that the administration must facilitate his return. Woman was shot last night in Waterbury. Police say they were called to a home on Berkeley Avenue, where they found the victim with gunshot wounds. Now under arrest is John Irizarry. The woman's son called 911. Irizarry faces a host of charges, including attempted murder. Names of the mother and daughter killed in a house fire this week in Norwich have been released. 44-year-old Carmen Vizcaíno and 8-year-old Skylin Owens died when their multifamily home went up in flames in the wee hours of Thursday morning. European countries are vowing to send billions of dollars in further aid to help Ukraine keep fighting Russia's invasion. At the same time, a U.S. envoy pursued peace efforts today in a trip to meet with Russian President Putin. Woman already facing a slew of animal cruelty charges, now been arrested again. Sarah Smolak facing charges from 2 additional warrants. She and another man were arrested last month following a raid on her Winstead home. And the investigation's continuing into that helicopter crash in New York on Thursday. 5 family members from Spain and the pilot died when their chopper went down in the Hudson River during a sightseeing trip of Manhattan. WTIC News time approaching 3:32. Here's the WTIC Weather Center forecast.
Cloudy and breezy for the rest of our Friday with a high of 51. Then tonight, overcast and breezy. We'll get some rain late. Chilly with the low dropping down to 36. Now, much colder, damp, and raw for us on Saturday with occasional rain and drizzle. The high only 40 degrees. Saturday night, overcast with occasional rain. The low dropping down to 37. Then Sunday, breezy and warmer. Still occasional rain and drizzle, but the high up to 58. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
50 degrees, cloudy skies in Hartford. Wall Street, a half hour before the close. The Dow is up more than 600 points. And NASDAQ's ahead 308, and the S&P's up 92. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Join us this Sunday for Tumalo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father-son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumalo Financial, retirement planning with integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Are you on track for a successful retirement? Johnson Brunetti hosting a unique all-in-one event for those near or at retirement, moderated by me, Brian Shackman. Hear from JB Advisors, a licensed CPA, estate planning attorney, and Medicare specialist. Join us for dinner at the AquaTurf Club in Plantsville on May 1st at 6 p.m. Reservations are required. Visit event@jb.com to RSVP now. That's event@jb.com. Johnson Brunetti is a marketing name for the business of JB Capital and JN Financial. Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial LLC.
The law firm of Brown, Payne, Dearest & Scott understands that divorce can be intimidating, and the decisions you make today will impact your life forever. Divorce is complicated. There's a lot at stake when considering your future. At Brown, Payne, Dearest & Scott, our team of family attorneys have over 100 years of combined experience and understand every family law case is different. At BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer, you get a full-service law firm. Call us at 860-CALL-BPS or visit bpslawyers.com. Katie Bissonette is responsible for the content of this ad.
Connecticut hospitals care for more than just patients. They care for our workforce, creating 245,000 jobs. They care for our economy as the largest
Spawn,
employer
how
in
long
Connecticut.
ago was that
They
when it
care
was
for our
U2
communities, connecting residents to health
Just a
screenings,
garage
nutritious
band.
food, and stable housing. And they care for our future. making healthcare accessible, equitable, and affordable. Connecticut hospitals create real change by caring for Connecticut. Learn more at caringforct.org.
College holds a mythic place in American culture, but there are stories you won't hear on the campus tours.
The higher-ups are concerned about one thing, and that is avoiding scandal.
I'm Margot Gray. On the new podcast, Campus Files, we cover everything from rigged admissions to the drama of Greek life and student protests. Listen to and follow Campus Files, an Odyssey original podcast. Available now on the free Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's Tom Shattuck. My friend Phil just finished month 2 of Awaken 180 Weight Loss. All right, Phil, it is the end of week 8 now, according to my calendar. And how are we looking?
We're looking good, Tom. This past week, I dropped another 4.8. Since the start date of February 5, I'm down 46 pounds.
Dang, that is amazing. So it's about right around 6 pounds per week.
The weight loss speaks for itself. It's keeping me motivated. I have no desire to cheat.
You're definitely a much thinner guy now. You look like a new Phil. And Phil, don't take this the wrong way, but you look younger too.
Well, that's a compliment, Tom. I thank you. In fact, I go to the local Y to do, some moderate workouts, nothing too crazy. And a guy came up to me and he said, "Man, you look great."
Phil does look great, and he's losing weight by eating right through Awaken 180 Weight Loss, and not by taking some experimental drug with a clinical name you can't pronounce. Make your consultation today at 844-346-1800 or at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hi, I'm Joe with SimpleSaleUSA.com, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 203-896-4000. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and more importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 203-896-4000. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000.
We all hear the radio. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online.com or call
800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Reese on the radio, making sense of the news. Yeah, even when it makes no sense at all. Now on WTIC, News Talk 1080.
I got to tell you, folks.
It's ladies' night.
It is ladies' night. And look, I only reason why I ask this because I really need the advice of women here. In my entire life, and Roland was making fun of me, he was like, oh, you have to care about people to be able to buy them gifts. I have always been a horrible gift giver. Before I go to the phones, I just want to tell this. I want to tell this quick story and then tell you what I'm asking for and trying to understand with women. Nothing against the guys. The guys are probably going to call in and give their advice anyway. But I really need to understand this from women, from their personal perspective. Quick story. I bought a necklace for a girlfriend, Brittany, at the time. I really didn't know what to buy. I wasn't a jewelry guy. I never really bought gifts. As you know, my childhood story, I never really received gifts as a kid. I was a poor kid. So I was trying to buy a gift for this girlfriend, a woman in which I was living with. I saw this chain. It was, I was young, I was silly, and this woman convinced me to buy this necklace for her. I bought it. And anyway, I gave it to her. And of course, at that moment, she loved it, said she, loved it, gave me a kiss, blah, 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 I was a winner. Anyway, her girlfriend, Nicole, who she and I were not friends, to say the least. Anyway, it apparently gotten in her ear and then said to her, oh, that necklace is cheap and garbage and blah, 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 blah. And then, of course, in the middle of an argument, months later, Brittany mentioned the necklace by saying, and you bought me that garbage, necklace. And I was devastated by it. I still talk about it today. In fact, I was just having a conversation with my ex-wife about it. And she was, really, that really devastated you? And I was like, yes, it destroyed my ability to buy a gift for a woman ever since. And I was in my mid-20s. I'm 55 now. I never recovered from it. I can openly admit I never recovered from it. So it brought me to this question, why I called it Ladies' Night. It's because, again, I'm a doof. I am. And I know a lot of guys out there, they are trying to figure out, what do women want? Here's my question. Women, do you want a guy to just document the stuff that you say you like and then you get that as a gift? Or do you need him to be inventive? I don't understand which one, because I take pictures. My wife will see something and I'll quietly take a picture of it. And I'm always worried that if I bought it, she was like, oh, this is so great. I'm thinking in my head, is she going, oh, he saw me like it, so that, I made it easy for him. Because I feel like some women will say, because I made it easy for him, he'll just buy the stuff that he saw I was interested in instead of actually putting some thought into it. And men get confused by that, as do I. So I'm really asking women, honestly, what is it that you would rather them do? Just buy the stuff that you show interest in, or do you really want them to think and put an effort? That's all. That's all I'm trying to understand. And if you can help me out, I'd appreciate it. Now, let's get to the phones because I know everybody's got questions and want to get into, news stuff, and that's fine. We'll get to that. Let's go to Carol, who's in Hanover. How are you, Carol?
How did you know it was me?
Oh, I don't know. It just showed up on the screen, Carol, but sorry.
I've called before. So I'm one of the women who listens to your show.
Okay.
But listen, have you ever been to, this is a really fun event called an art heist?
Ooh, no, I've never even heard of that. That sounds intriguing, though.
Let me tell you how it works. So a gallery gets art donated from artists.
Okay.
And then they sell tickets to an event. And so the day of the event, everybody gathers and they pull the first ticket out of the hat. Mm-hmm. And whoever that person is, they get to go steal a piece of art. And then they pull the next one and the next one until all the art is gone. It is a hoot. And the gallery people dress up in robber costumes, and it's just a lot of fun. And, of course, you're drinking wine and eating stuff and everything. So there's one coming up in Norwich on May 17th at the Norwich Arts Center. And if anybody wants to get the info, you can go to the website, norwicharts.org.
Okay.
And we've already collected some art that's worth over $6,000. And it's a $75 ticket. It could be yours.
That's incredible.
So much fun. It really, it's a blast. And you're drinking wine and beer and you're eating pizza and whatever.
Yeah, for the price you pay for it, sure. You're sort of like you're paying for entertainment, refreshments, things like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I've never heard of that.
It's a fundraiser for the gallery. Instead of sitting eating a boring chicken dinner and listening to speeches, this is an event. It's just a lot of fun. And you should stop in and get a ticket. You can get the tickets right online. You can get all the info right online, norwicharts.org.
Okay, thank you. Now, Carol, now that I've got you, and you are indeed a woman, so I asked the earlier question, would you rather have your husband sort of take documentation of the stuff that you show interest in and then buy that for you as a gift, or do you want him to think about it? Like, do you want him to put a natural effort?
I just appreciate the gift, period.
Okay.
But I've had boyfriends in the past that got me jewelry that wasn't really my taste, and I think that they just didn't know me well enough. I would like to go shopping with the guy and say, I really like this, and I like this one, and
So you would like to give the clue.
Come up with it on their own.
So you don't have a problem with giving him the clue and then him showing the interest and then just purchasing that. You don't think that as a gift is good enough as opposed to him trying to figure it out on his own.
I think it shows respect for me that he wants to get something that I like.
Okay.
Instead of just, whatever.
I'm going to see if we can get a consensus on this, because then my wife could stop hounding me about taking pictures of the stuff that she likes. Thank you, Carol. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks. And I hope you'll stop in at the heist. It'll be a great hoot.
It sounds like a great idea. Thank you. Let's go to Simsbury. Joe is on the line. What's going on, buddy?
Hi there. That art heist thing, I've never heard of that before, but if there's gunplay involved, I'm in. I'm totally in.
You would. So what do you got? Did you want to talk shop, or did you want to talk about this subject?
I got a couple of news items.
Go for it.
The first one, I didn't have a chance to listen to you yesterday, so if you talked about it, then just cut me off. But
okay.
Did you talk about the West Hartford tickler and the new information?
No,
that came out with that?
Not yet. In fact, I've got that lined up for Monday because there is a coinciding story that I need to get out. That both of those are going to dovetail. But yes, I do have the tickler story is on deck.
Okay. Do you want me to wait until?
Yeah,
wait
until Monday. Yeah, and then we'll have that whole discussion because we understand that there is a second arrest as opposed to the first one.
Absolutely,
yeah.
And people try to listen on Monday then, because if you think you were mad about the original story,
yeah,
when you hear the new information, you're going to look at it and you're going to go, what is wrong with the left?
Yeah,
because
it's not
this
even
is truly a left-wing thing.
Yeah, it is
really
a left-wing thing, but I'm okay because so I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. So let's just say I'm looking to get a statement before Monday's show. That's why I'm waiting until Monday. So let's just I'll just leave it at that. I'm waiting to get a statement before Monday's show because then when I do the Monday show, I'll have everything that needs to go with it. So when the outrage sort of builds, I need to have that particular duck in a row.
Okay.
All right.
So did you hear about the Jason Whitlock information having to do with the Carmelo Anthony murder in Texas?
No. What is the Jason Whitlock? Well, tell me, because I may have seen this.
Jason Whitlock is, so he is saying that there is now a video out showing the murder of the young man. And he is saying very directly that people seeing this murder, that it will have an impact, and I don't want to paraphrase him wrong, but I'll get the gist of it out. It will impact the way that white people look at black on white crime. That this may be the thing where, because of the people who've been lying and saying, oh, he was a victim and let's donate.
Right.
He says when this video comes out, from what he's been told, white people will no longer be as nice as they have been, again, paraphrasing, when it comes to black on white crime.
Yeah, he's talking about, the dismissiveness, right.
It will change some things in this country.
Yeah, I've heard this story. I didn't hear the Jason Whitlock angle on it, but I did hear the story that once this video does come out, this, and again, as I tried to explain to everyone who's been talking about this, is that the reason why there's been this overabundance of people trying to defend Carmelo Anthony has more to do with the fact that they're trying to get ahead of the story that they know is coming out, that Carmelo's actions were unwarranted. There's no, and trying to, in essence, it's trying to force the narrative to believe that Austin's actions here were not only premeditated, but somewhat bigoted, if not racist, and only prompted Carmelo Anthony to behave in the manner that he did. And there's so many people outraged at the even notion of that. I keep telling people, chill out. The only reason why these people are coming out, knowing nothing about the story, they're trying to get ahead of it and to create a narrative. It's sort of like, I'll give you another example. Remember when the news media went nuts, CNN in particular, got on the air and put their hands up in the air and said, hands up, don't shoot? They wanted to promote that narrative because anyone who would be contrarian to that narrative would be considered a racist. And then when we found out that it wasn't true, immediately everyone abandoned it. That's going to be the case here with the video. So I can't wait. When the video comes out, all bets are off. Because the way I look at it, and I'm pretty sure White Mike's in the queue as well, the way that I look at it, I'm going to take every comment that was online defending Carmelo Anthony and force those people not to retract, but to explain themselves. Even Black Lives Matter 860. That's the first thing I'm going to do. I
like-
need a response to this, and I need it now. And if you can't give a response, delete all the nonsense.
Yeah, Whitlock is also kind of saying that this is going to be the black on white version of George Floyd.
Ooh.
That it's going to have that much of an impact on people, where people are no longer going to bite their lip and they're going to really start to speak out and demand that this kind of garbage just stops. Because it's really not just this situation. This is just one young man, but
I get what you're saying,
though.
though.
We see videos of people in subways, women, Asian women, white women, just getting sucker punched by people.
Yeah. The
And
pendulum had to
were
swing.
there ever any marches for that?
Yeah,
No.
the pendulum had to
No,
swing
so-
in the other direction. And if this video in any way supports the way in which you're describing it, or Jason Whitlock, for that matter, is describing it, you're absolutely right. This is one of those things that moves the needle in the opposite direction. But the only part about that I fear, Joe, and I'm sure you do, some people have a tendency to overplay their hands, and that's where I'm concerned. I think let the video speak for itself, and then force the people who tried to swing this story into this, self-defense argument, get those people on the record immediately and say, what say you now? And there's going to be a lot of that, where people are going to have to temper themselves. I'm going to talk about this a lot on Monday as well, but you're absolutely right. I'm waiting for this video as well. We'll see what happens.
All right. Have a great weekend, Reese.
Thank you, man. You too. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll grab the rest of the phone. We'll take Jane in Bloomfield real quick when we come back. So stick around. It's Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC.
This year, celebrate Easter at either Evergreens at the Simsbury Inn or Seasons in the Avon Old Farms Hotel. You'll enjoy a gourmet buffet featuring traditional Easter dishes, live music, and there will be appearances from the Easter Bunny. For just $79.95 per adult, you can get out of the kitchen, relax, and enjoy Easter. There are seatings at each location between 10:30 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. For a reservation at Evergreens, call 860-392-0309. For a reservation at Seasons, call 860-269-0240. Reservations will go fast, so call and make your reservation today. Celebrate Easter Sunday this year with us at either Evergreens or Seasons.
Sue and her wife Helen meet their son every Saturday for lunch. One week they were late because Helen didn't realize it was Saturday. At the restaurant, they enjoyed their usual favorites and caught up. But after the meal, Helen got upset because she needed help calculating the tip. Sue missed 2 warning signs of Alzheimer's. Did you? Know where Alzheimer's and all dementia hide. Learn more at alz.org/10signs. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association.
So, you want to buy a house. You could go online, do your research, find the dream listing, go see it, and get catfished. Back to the drawing board. More scheduling, more viewings, more...
Zach, what the hell is that? The whitest listener challenge?
Does match the photos. Then comes the offer. Stress rush? Yep, make that 3. And here's the paperwork. Yep, never-ending paperwork. It's a lot. But you don't have to do it alone. Because there's an agent who's a realtor here to guide and help protect you as you find the home that's right for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Good morning, Doctor. Doctor? Hi, Doctor. Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, You can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545.
Here we go.
That's 800-207-4545.
It's Reese on the Radio. Ask your doctor if common sense is right for you. On News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Stand by. We got plenty of news and plenty of views. We got to talk about Chris Murphy, Dick Blumenthal talking about insider trading. How dare they? I've got to talk about Avelo Airlines. They're going to be in the stupidest thing that I read today. And what's going on with that. I've got a lot of info about Avelo Airlines, which I'm still trying to, Justin Elliker, we'll get into that as well. I've got, again, plenty of news, plenty of views. We got Mrs. on the Radio. Roseanne is going to be joining us as well to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. So stick around for that. I've got so much audio and so much video. So go to reasonoradio.com if you'd like to watch the show, if you want to join in the chat room. The chat room's on fire today. Talking about this whole thing with Ladies' Night, asking the question, what do women like? Do they like them husbands, boyfriends, significant others, girlfriends even? Do they like them to pick the stuff that they already like, or do they want them to be inventive? I've got Jane, who's calling in from Bloomfield. How are you, Jane?
Reese, I want to say it's better, and I think it's nicer when the guy is inventive. I think it's because you're putting your thought into something. You know, I love to get surprises. And when you go out, and I don't care, a lot of people, women probably, they all want, okay, that necklace is more expensive than that. I don't care if a necklace came from a five and dime store. It's the thought that's behind it. So don't let, if these women, everybody, the same thing when everybody was getting engaged. Oh, I got a bigger diamond than you. Who cares? You're putting your own thought into it, Reese, and I love that. So don't let these women tell you different. You know, you be creative yourself.
I thought that I was. It was, you know, it's crazy that at the moment that I bought it, when this young lady was behind the counter, she was walking me through the whole process. I'd never purchased jewelry for a woman in my life. I always thought that I thought it was really intimate, and since I was living with the girl, I thought that I was in my right mind to buy her jewelry. And the woman I'd spoken to, an attractive younger woman about her age, and I asked her, I said, will she really like this? And I'm speaking to her, and I'll admit part of my problem was I generalized. I figured she's a girl. That's what girls like. And when she said, I was like, no, she really liked this. And, you know, it was a little name necklace. And I thought she's in early 20s. This is something that was right in her age range. And so I was really confident. And when I got it for her, she appeared to be very enthusiastic. But to come back and tell me that, oh, and that cheap little gift, and it wasn't cheap, by the way, but the way that she described it, it ruined me, probably because my ego was shattered. And then that was the reason why I said, hands off, I'm not going to do this gift-giving thing anymore. Tell me what you want. In fact, I'll go so far, Jane. I'll let you get the last word, but this is how bad it got. It got to the point where I've given ex-wives money to avoid having to buy a gift.
No. You know, that girl, let me tell you something. That girl, her ex-girlfriend, whatever she was just jealous. It's jealous. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't even, you know, when somebody says, here, give money. No, it's not coming out of you. You're doing it out of the kindness, out of your heart to get something for your wife, girlfriend, or whatever.
Thank you, Jane. I gotta go to a heartbreak, but I just wanted to get you in there. I appreciate it, and I'm going to take your advice. I promise. Let's get a first check on the BPS weather and traffic. Jason Caterina's got weather, and Mark Christopher, he's back in the BPS Traffic Center. Welcome back, sir.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you and to everyone. This traffic report being brought to you by Columbia Implant Center in Manchester. And if you are traveling on the southbound side of I-91, you got delays 34 down to 32 A and B in Hartford. A little bump down bikes at 28 Hartford Weathersfield line. Again, some delays from 20 Country Club Road in Middletown, sluggish down to 17 for the Wilbur-Cross Parkway. Northbound side of 91, a little tight as you move between 20 and 21, Middletown into Cromwell. After that, good ride, Hartford up into Windsor. Westbound 84 is slowing, approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound delays from 43 Park Road down to the Bulkley Bridge. A little slow again as you move out by 59 into 384 interchange. 2 westbounds a little slow as you merge with 84 West and East Hartford. 9 northbound Middletown slowing Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. 84 westbound in Cheshire, you're tight from 26 up to the area of the Mixmaster in Waterbury. 84 eastbound Waterbury slowing by 18. 84 eastbound Danbury tight 3 to 5. Again slowing 84 eastbound in Newtown 10 to 11. Southbound on the Wilbur-Cross Parkway, you're going to see some slow traffic now from exit 60 down into the West Rock Tunnel. Northbound Parkway slows 59 into the tunnel. 95 South New Haven slowing from 46 down to 44. Stuck in traffic again? Don't waste another minute. Columbia Implant Center in Manchester gets you in and out fast, often in just one day. Open 7 days a week. Get your smile back now. Columbia Implant Center, ColumbiaImplantCenter.com. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC is celebrating 100 years on the air and 100 years of serving Connecticut. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
4 o'clock, good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News, the WTIC Weather Center forecast. For the rest of this afternoon, we'll have cloudy skies, breezy in the low 50s. Cloudy tonight, breezy, mix of snow and rain late, maybe an inch in some of the higher elevations. Low 30s for our lows. Colder periods of rain tomorrow, really. Lousy day. Highs in the low 40s. Better for the parade on Sunday for the Yukon women. Breezy, a little bit milder. Maybe just a chance of a shower. Temperatures, though, getting up into the upper 50s. Currently in downtown Hartford, we have cloudy skies, and it is 50 degrees. Man is under arrest, a woman in the hospital following a domestic incident that ended in a shooting Thursday night in Waterbury. Police say they were called to a home on Berkeley Avenue by the victim's son. 44-year-old woman sustained gunshot wounds. She is now in the hospital in critical condition, stable at this point. Under arrest is 56-year-old John Arizari. Police say he had a relationship with the victim, faces attempted murder and other charges. Bond was set at $1 million. Police say as a convicted felon, Arizari should not have been in possession of firearms. More charges filed against a Winstead woman in connection with the poor treatment of more than 24 dogs seized from her home last month. Here's WTIC's Dave Mager.
Animal rescue groups complained to police that Sarah Smolak was neglecting and abusing dogs she agreed to foster. When police raided her home March 18th, several were malnourished and all were living in deplorable conditions. Smolak was charged with 2 counts of animal cruelty. Then 36 counts were added when she was arrested Thursday. Also, police have searched her property for a pit bull named Marshmallow, who remains missing. The 27 rescued dogs are at Harwinton Regional Animal Control, which is looking for financial contributions as the bills pile up. Smolak is free on bail and will be in court in Torrington later this month. Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
Financial markets feeling more confident today. This despite an escalation of the trade war between China and the U.S. Beijing slapped a 125% tariff on U.S. goods. More from correspondent Anna Corin in Beijing.
It comes as President Xi made his first public comments on the escalating trade war, saying his nation is not afraid. He said, quote, "There are no winners in a trade war, and going against the world will only lead to self-isolation."
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
The president made it very clear when the United States is punched, he will punch back harder, and he hopes to make a deal that benefits the American worker and our companies that have been ripped off for far too long.
Department of Justice has refused to comply with the Supreme Court order to facilitate the return of a man wrongly deported to El Salvador.
A Maryland judge has again ordered the Department of Justice to provide details on the status of Kilmer Abrego Garcia, who was mistakenly sent on a flight carrying alleged gang members to a prison in El Salvador.
The government refused to
Why does that sound like
any
Janine?
of those pieces of information.
His attorney, Simon Sandoval Mosenberg.
You think so? It sounds just like her.
They even refused to question about what they've done so far, and they even refuse to answer the question about where Kilmer Abrego Garcia is.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
Governor Lamont says financial instability in Washington and on Wall Street should not change how Connecticut funds major projects through bonding.
Feds, one reason they pulled back on tariffs was they were having a hard time selling their debt. You know, thanks to Eric Russell, thanks to the fact that we paid down $8 billion in debt, I think the bonding folks think we're in pretty strong position, and the appetite for our bonds is strong despite the turbulence you see down in Washington.
Among the latest approvals from the State Bond Commission today, $77 million for local economic development. Passover begins this weekend. Jews use the 9 days to reflect and celebrate their exodus from slavery at the hands of ancient Egypt. Rabbi Yosef Wolvovsky, executive director of Chabad Jewish Center in Glastonbury, explains the underlying message of the period.
The underlying message of Passover is that through our relationship with God, we can experience miracles. And this idea of human freedom is really a gift from God.
Period marked with the Seder dinner. Wolvovsky says there will be Seder dinners on Saturday and Sunday at their 23 locations. More information, you can call 860-659-2422. Closing bell report sponsored by Bouvier Insurance. Dow up 619 points. NASDAQ up 337. S&P up 95 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
As men get older, change. We all know that, and often we just accept the changes as the way it is. But some of those changes, such as bad sleep patterns, low sex drive, brain fog, no energy, and reduced gains in the gym, could be due to low testosterone. And that is something you can change. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health.
Secret squirrel
And even
on
if you're
line
in your 30s, if you're experiencing some or all of the symptoms I just noted, you very well may need low testosterone treatment. With our treatment protocols, if you're like most men, you'll be amazed at the change. You'll have more energy, improved mental clarity, your sleep will be better, so will your workouts, and you'll likely find your sex drive increases too. So give us a call today and make a change for the good. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to northeastmenshealth.com. That's northeastmenshealth.com. We have 5 offices across the Northeast to serve you. Northeast Men's Health, a Promedic restorative health practice.
It's Reese on the radio. And don't say we didn't warn you on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
And we're back. We got plenty of news and plenty of views for you folks, so make sure you stick around for that. I use the term label mate when I say this, and that's because we both work for Odyssey, and that is Stephen A. Smith. You guys have followed him for a long time. I'm sure you're into at least some of the news about him. You may not like him personally. I get that. Some people are just like, he's kind of a blowhard. You have your opinions. I've got mine. Stephen A. and I are from the same hometown, both from Hollis, Queens. He's rising in the ranks in a lot of conservative spaces. Probably because he's saying the things that conservatives like, or at least the usual, rank and file conservatives who are on television and other media outlets. I've got my criticisms, but I got nothing against the guy. Like I said, he's a hometown boy, and whatever's whatever. He's not going to be president of the United States, and I will tell you that this audio that I'm going to play for you today. Let me just say this again. To my label mate, watch your back, because this audio clip, once this makes the rounds, they're going to kneecap Stephen A. Smith. We'll play that later. I'm sure many of you have heard it, but if you haven't, I'll play it for you when we get back. They will, and I promise you, they will kneecap Stephen A. Smith if he's talking the stuff that he's talking. And he's talking hot and greasy. I'll tell you that. Jason Caterina, he's in the, he's got your weather. And Mark Christopher, he's back in the BPS Traffic Center. If you don't mind me asking, was it a vacation day or did you just take a day off, Mark Christopher?
I was working. I did a gig over at the AquaTurf in Southington.
Oh, you mean like Wiggy
Fundraiser.
Wiggy? Oh, you were
Yes.
DJ. Oh, a little Stephen A. Smith music there.
Yeah, a little Stephen A.
Okay, so you were DJing a charity event or fundraiser event.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. That's
for
good.
The Hartford Pond, the Order of the Blue Goose.
Oh, okay.
They are an organization. It's kind of involved in all insurance and all the peripheral businesses that work with insurance. And they raise money every year for a burn camp for kids that have suffered traumatic burn injuries.
Wow.
And they go to this special camp. So they've been doing. I've been doing this for like 20 years with these guys. Great group of people.
Oh, so you're like the official DJ of the event.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I've been doing it a long time.
20 years makes you official, my friend.
Yeah. Now, when you're doing a gig at the AquaTurf, I don't know if you've ever been there.
I don't think so.
Massive place. It's
wow.
really nice. Great people over there. And you don't eat all day. You just don't eat. You eat very lightly because when you get to the gig, the food there is amazing. So I kind of...
so it's like a grand hall that you're DJing for? And like the
Yeah. Like that place, they can do 4 weddings at a time.
No
and
doubt.
I think two of the rooms can hold like 600 or 700 people. K's North and South.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a big place. Big place.
You're like Danger Mouse doing the like DJing.
Yes. Yes. But no, real nice group of people.
Sounds great.
Yeah, that's where I was yesterday.
Congrats to you.
Well, thank you. I'm still getting gigs at my advanced age. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, southbound 91, you're looking slow, 34 down to 32 A and B. Again, slowing by exit 28. You'll see some sluggish traffic again, approaching 19 in Meriden down to 17 for the Wilbercross Parkway. Northbound 91 moving while Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 slowing 56 Governor Street out to exit 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound delays from 44 Prospect Oakwood down to the Bulkley. If you're traveling 291, 384, that looks good east of the river. 2 westbound slowing exit 4 up to the 84 West merge. 9 northbound, you've got slow traffic Harbor Park up to the Aragoni Bridge. Heading into Waterbury westbound 84 tied up 26 in Cheshire to the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound Waterbury slowing by 18. 84 eastbound Danbury tight 3 to 5. Again, some slow traffic in Newtown. 84 eastbound from 10 to 11. Southbound Parkway slowing approaching 60 into the West Rock Tunnel. 95 south a little tight down by exit 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
This traffic report is being brought to you by Stu Leonard's Farm Fresh Foods.
This week at Stu Leonard's Farm Fresh Foods, local hickory smoked spiral cut hams are only $3.99 per pound. Plus, Stu's naked leg of lamb, boneless, butterflied, or roasts are just $6.99 per pound. Save $3. For more savings, visit StuLeonards.com.
WTIC weather.
Overcast and breezy with a mix of snow and rain late tonight. We'll get a coating to an inch, the low down to 34. Then a colder day on tap for Saturday with a mix of snow and rain in the morning. Again, another coating to an inch, then occasional rain and drizzle in the afternoon. A high only 41, so a damp and raw day. Then for Sunday, breezy, warmer with occasional rain and drizzle, but the high up to 58. So anything that does actually stick will melt by the time Sunday's over. Monday, mostly sunny, pleasant and warmer. The high jumping up to 65 to kick off the new week. Couple of showers Tuesday morning. Otherwise, breezy with clouds to start. Then the sun returns and the high moving up to 68. Right now, it's 49 in Bristol, 46 in Waterbury, 48 in Danbury, and also 48 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Whether you're shaping up a small yard or tackling serious acreage, Steel walk-behind zero-turn and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow. Available at participating dealers.
It's no secret, the world is more expensive. But at Mitchell Auto Group, they have a solution. Mitchell Select. Hand-picked selection of affordable, high-quality pre-owned vehicles. Each one goes through a 150-point inspection, comes with a 12-month warranty. What does that do? It ensures reliability and peace of mind. Affordable, dependable. Mitchell Select has what you need. All you have to do is go to MitchellAutoGroup.com to explore the select inventory. Mitchell Auto Group, where value meets quality. And remember, folks, always drive safely.
Looking for the best ways to prepare for retirement this year? Then be sure to tune in to Johnson Brunetti's Money Wisdom tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Seems everything costs more. Ask groceries. And when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular to get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
It's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com.
Here we go.
Radio.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
President of the Chris Murphy Fan Club, Reese on the Radio, on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Let me get some of this news stuff before I go to the phones. So I promise you guys on the phones I will be quick. You may have heard that there's a lot of conversation about insider trading because Donald Trump alerted everybody at 9 o'clock, maybe you should buy now. 4 hours later, he decides to reverse. Well, he doesn't reverse. He goes a 90-day pause on tariffs, and now everybody's screaming, oh, it's insider trading. Chris Murphy had to get on it. Everything Donald Trump does, he gets in front of a camera and starts admonishing.
Trump posts on social media that people should buy. It's a good time to buy. And then 3 hours later, guess what? He announces that there's going to be a 90-day suspension of many of the tariffs. Predictably, the market, which had been crashing, shoots up. And anyone who made investments early today likely made a lot of money. Why did Trump send out that post to his supporters?
There you go. And there you go. See, again, we're showing you exactly how ridiculous Mr. Murphy is. Again, how ridiculous he is. He didn't send a message out to his supporters. He sent it out on his Truth Social account that Chris Murphy follows. Chris Murphy gets an alert on everything that Donald Trump says. Why? Because he is hanging on his strap every day about everything he says and everything that he does. So when Donald Trump put out that alert, he sent it out to Chris Murphy as well. That's how Chris Murphy found out about it, not through news reports. He found it because he is fangirling Donald Trump and everything that comes out of his mouth.
Earlier in the day.
And then Dick Blumenthal, another bozo in all of this, also says, I think we should have an investigation.
There are strong indications of manipulation and insider trading in the volatility. And
let me tell you what that means. There are strong indications. It means because I said so.
The sales that we've seen and the purchases, there are strong indications of impropriety or illegality.
There's strong indications of illegality or impropriety.
Market manipulation or insider trading, I think it needs to be investigated by the SEC. I have no confidence that that agency and this administration will do its duty. So I think Congress may have to fill the void.
Yeah, now the other part is that here's what the important thing is for Dick Blumenthal here is to make the accusation and say that there's a severity, right? It's the severity of the accusation. Now here's where he codifies that nonsense by saying if you don't investigate it, you are only securing exactly what he believes or he is alleging.
We have tools to ask for information. And if Republicans block us or if they fail to cooperate, I think the American people will see them as complicit in illegal market manipulation.
Yeah, see, if anybody refuses to agree with what Dick Blumenthal here is saying and Chris Murphy saying, that in and of itself is an indicator that something did take place. If you deny that it took place, that is nothing more than an admission that something took place.
Insider trading.
Have you seen any direct evidence of insider trading?
Yeah, Dick, have you seen any direct evidence? Are you going to Adam Schiff the rest of us?
Just the indications in trading patterns and the knowledge that people in the White House and administration had prior knowledge of what the president would do. It's at least a mandate for some kind of investigation.
Yeah, these guys are doing it on the fly. This is really, really embarrassing, and it's kind of sad to watch. They're boring the hell out of me. They really, really are. It's like, I said there should be an investigation, and anybody denies that there should be an investigation is thwarting the investigation. White Mike, please tell me you have a grievance.
Yeah, I'm going to go in a different direction today. I have not so much a grievance as kind of a brief dissertation. If that's okay.
Make it brief. What's up?
Okay, so President Trump has said repeatedly that he wants to abolish the IRS and the income tax and made references to the U.S. running on a tariff-based economy before the income tax.
Correct.
But he's also mentioned the idea of a flat tax, which is usually a consumption tax, correct?
Yes, and I think the flat tax, it's supposed to be tiered, if I got that right. Is it supposed to be tiered based on income, or is it flat tax across the board?
Flat taxes across the board.
Okay.
It's a consumption, so no one can dodge it. So
Okay.
I've been pondering on this, and I have an idea. Tell me what you think.
Okay.
So imports will be handled by tariffs. If countries tariff us, we'll tariff them. If they compete unfairly like China, or where they subsidize businesses and devalue their currency, we'll tariff them.
Okay.
But everything else is going to be fair trade.
Okay.
If you're fair, we're fair. So I say we implement a consumption tax on everything, but we exempt food because imported food will be handled by the tariff, and we say domestic food is untaxed, except for sales tax if it exists. I don't care if people buy $100 American Wagyu.
Yeah.
Because it's still for farmers. But then you exempt clothing under $50. And here's where my plan kind of makes sense to me. So say you you consumption tax all domestic made clothing over $50. That means that, let's look at blue jeans. Blue jeans that retail for $50 are going to sell more than blue jeans that retail for $55.
Correct.
Because $50 is $50, but 55 with 10% say is $60.10.
Makes
or
sense.
$6.50.
Yeah.
So you're going to see a boom in the domestic market for $50 blue jeans, right?
Absolutely.
Companies are going to sell more of those and make more of those. So factories are going to ramp up production to make more $50 blue jeans. And if one company does it, another company will do it. And they'll say, if they can do $50, we can do $50, which is going to lead to competition at the $50 price point. So you're going to get different colors and different styles, and you'll have to differentiate yourself at that price point. So maybe you have the best $50 jeans. And if you can't compete at 50, then maybe you knock yours down to 40 and you keep dropping until you find the bare minimum that you can be profitable.
$30 jeans at best.
Right. If you can make money at $30, then somebody's going to make a lot of $30 jeans.
Sure.
Which is going to improve the economy all the way down the supply line, because you have to buy more cotton. You have to have more stuff milled. You're going to have to buy more mills. You need more people driving trucks. You need more people putting stuff in boxes. You need to buy more boxes. And all of those, thanks to tariffs, will be domestically sourced because that's the most economical way to do it. So this improved the economy dramatically. And so many people are tied into their team sport idea of this. You know, the left are fully dependent on taxes, and the right don't believe anything else can change, that we need income taxes and stuff. And I think it's wrong. I think this is an almost instant solution to the problem, and nobody talks about it. You know who it hits the most? The evil multinational corporations. Now, I'm a capitalist. You understand I'm a capitalist, but I don't believe in fully unrestrained capitalism.
Oh, no, I know
believe
that. That much I understand. That's the fascism in you. No, I'm kidding.
I believe that if a corporation has benefited from the largesse of the American taxpayer, and all these Walmarts and Amazons get big tax dispensations to locate their stores and distribution centers in places,
right?
Well, one of their responsibilities should be to benefit the nation that allowed them to grow so big.
Indeed.
Makes sense?
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. And I don't, it's so funny because that's the only thing that and a lot of people, even though they crapped on her about it, there was that was kind of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's beef about Amazon in Queens. She did hurt jobs in her district, but part of her argument, which was sort of like let's just say an accidental brilliance on her part, was the fact that she knew in building that plant that there were going to be huge tax breaks for Bezos. Yeah. And that's what she was pushing back on. So not everything that she stood against with Amazon was destroying, opportunities for people in her district. She just understood how the game was played. She wasn't willing to give up the tax breaks for Amazon in order to get, I guess, fair paying jobs or kind of good paying jobs in an Amazon plant.
And now I'm not saying that Amazon can't offshore production and import stuff. If they can do it and still be competitive with the tariff, then they win. Fair game.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it behooves the nation to have multinational corporations wanting to improve the standard of living for everybody here. So I remember in the old days, in the 80s and 90s, when Walmart would have end caps, and it would be a photo of some small town in Nebraska, and it's, hey, we bought this plastic dish from this place in whatever Nebraska. We saved all these jobs. You don't see that anymore.
Yeah,
it doesn't exist.
Yeah,
and that's totally a thing that happen. A company as big as Walmart or Amazon could totally bring some production of stuff onshore. What if Amazon decided they were going to make an effort to build their Amazon Basics products here? Not all of them, but some of them. Wouldn't that help?
I think that's and I think that's the sentiment of this administration, not with Amazon, but other companies in that area. But no, you're 100% right. I agree with you.
Yeah, thank you.
You got it.
I know more about stuff than just black people.
I know you do, Mike. Let me get another one. Thank you, boss man. Let's go to Fred in Middletown before we take a break. What's going on, Fred?
Yeah, I have a very brief poem that's 100% derivative of yesterday's show.
Go for it.
Are you going to the Tong Murphy protest? You can catch a ride with me. It should be fun. And it's paying gigs. I'll be going to more than one. There'll be no arrests, no billy clubs, no tear gas. Strictly walk, don't run. And then we'll know what it feels like to be Abby Hoffman when we're done.
Wow.
To the tune of 5-1. Thank you.
Abby Hoffman, a great reference. Thank you, Fred. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Excuse me. What is going on? I apologize for that. I didn't mean to cough right on the air. Let's take, we got time for Pete. Pete's in Plainville. How are you, Pete?
Hey, what's happening today?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, as far as for gifts, I got to have the wife tell me because memory span is way too short. We're mall walkers right now when the weather is crappy. So if she stops to look at something, I go back the next day and get it.
So, okay. So all right. So you like, if you see your wife like something or if she likes something, you would prefer her give you the hint as opposed to figuring it out yourself because of the short attention. You're saying your short attention span or your short memory, you will not remember the thing that she likes? Am I getting that right?
I remember. I'm saying if she looked at something in the book, if I don't do it right away in a couple of months, I'll forget what she had looked at and commented.
So can I tell you what I do, Pete? This is what I do. So I actually have a section on my phone. I'm grabbing my phone now. And I go to my photos. I go to my photo gallery. And if I look at albums, when I scroll down on the albums, it actually says, Roseanne likes this. That's the section. That's the section that I have. I put a little section in there and I says, Roseanne likes this. And if she's walking through the mall or she's walking someplace and she likes it, I'll take a quick photo of it. And then, when I get home, I'll grab that photo. I'll look on my phone and see the photographs. And I'm like, oh, let me move this to that thing. On the other side, and this is probably the downside, I've got about 40 pictures in the Roseanne likes this section, Pete. I've not purchased one thing on it. Not one.
The other thing that we've done, though, is I can't stop to take a photo because they'll see me do it.
That's true.
We've been up in, my daughter lives in the Boston area, so we go walking, we go to certain places, and if she stops, my daughter will let me know what it is. I'll say, okay, buy it for me. I'll pay you back.
That's what, what? Brilliantly done. You got to use the kids. That's it.
Yep.
That's exactly what you have to do. They can run interference. That's it. That's totally it. You know what? I have to contact, I think my wife has a couple of friends. You know what? That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, you just solved it for me, Pete. I appreciate you. Thank you, buddy.
Enjoy your time today.
Thank you, man. You too. All right. We'll take a break. We got to get into traffic and weather. Yeah, that's a really, really good point. You use a liaison. It's like planning a surprise party. You get her girlfriends. I don't know which one of her girlfriends I could trust, though, to keep a secret. That would be good. Jason Caterina's got the weather, and Mark Christopher is at the BPS Traffic Center. Mark, real quick before we go, do you...
You don't have time.
Oh, we don't? Okay, never mind. We don't have time. I'll ask you at the top of the hour.
Okay.
All right.
I'm nervous.
Yeah.
You're heading into I should be. Southbound 91, you got delays from exit 33 down to 32 A and B, and again slowing down by exit 28. A little slow again from just after 20 Country Club Road down to 17 for the Wilbercross Parkway. Northbound Parkway Meriden, some slow traffic 67 up to 68 N&E through the construction area there. Northbound 91 moving while Cromwell to up into Winter Locks. Westbound 84 tied up 56 Governor Street out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound slowing 44 down to the Bulkley 2 westbound tight East Hartford exit 4 up to the 84 West merge. 291 384 okay. Middletown both sides of 9 just a little slow as you approach the Aragoni Bridge. If you are traveling 91 southbound, look for delays just after 20 down to 17. Westbound 84 in Cheshire slows 26 to the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound in Waterbury slowing by 18. Again, a little tight by the 691 interchange. 84 eastbound Danbury tight 3 to 5. Again, slow traffic 84 eastbound from 10 to 11 in Newtown. Southbound Parkway, some slow traffic from 60 in Hamden into the West Rock. 95 South New Haven slowing 46 to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Cloudy and breezy for the rest of our Friday afternoon with the high at 51. Overcast and breezy with some rain late tonight. Chilly, the low dropping down to 36. Now damp, raw, and colder for Saturday with occasional rain and drizzle around. The high only 40 degrees. Saturday night, still overcast with occasional rain. The low dropping down to 37. Breezy and warmer Sunday, though we'll still have some occasional rain and drizzle. The high up to 58. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
4:30, good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Waterbury police say a man's in custody after he allegedly shot a woman Thursday night during an apparent domestic incident. 56-year-old John Irizarry is charged. Police say the woman's 22-year-old son called 911. Irizarry is facing attempted murder and other charges. A Louisiana immigration judge has found that the U.S. can deport Columbia University grad student Mahmoud Khalil based on the federal government's argument that he poses a national security threat. Immigration judge made the determination at the end of a nearly 2-hour-long hearing. State Bond Commission has approved $77 million for economic development projects across the state. Governor Lamont, who chairs that commission, says Connecticut is on solid ground to continue financing projects despite the upheaval in D.C. 2 people killed in a fire this week in Norwich have been identified, or their names have been released. Police say 44-year-old Carmen Vizcaino and her 8-year-old daughter Skylyn Owens died when the multi-family home where they lived on Otis Street caught fire in the wee hours of Thursday. China has announced it will raise tariffs on U.S. goods to 125%.
Oh, hell no.
The latest salvo in an escalating trade war between the world's 2 largest economies. And plans continue for the big victory parade honoring the UConn women's basketball team this Sunday. Many businesses, bars, and restaurants will open early to accommodate the influx of thousands expected to be on hand. The parade steps off at 1 Sunday from the Capitol and will wind up for a rally outside the XL Center at about 1:30. On Wall Street, Dow finished up 619 points back over the 40,000 threshold. NASDAQ was up 337. S&P gained 95 points today. Baseball on TIC tonight. Red Sox and the White Sox from Chicago. The pregame here at 7:10. Yanks open a series against the Giants, and the Mets are on the coast to face the A's. Eastern League, Yard Goats are playing 2 in Binghamton. NBA, as the season begins to wind down, this is the final weekend of the regular season anyway. The Celtics host Charlotte, the Knicks at the Garden against Cleveland, and the Nets take their show to Minnesota. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on really great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now, Recruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Stay locked in. Reese on the Radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Do I have time for this? You know what? Yes, I do. I think I do.
Do I look that stupid? Yes, you do. Stupid as can be. This could very well be the stupidest person on the face of the earth.
Now, one of the things that people have a problem with in this country is the rising rate of air travel. It is incredibly expensive to fly. And when an airline comes to New Haven, you know, a city like New Haven, and they offer really cheap flights, and when I say cheap flights, sometimes they offer flights as little as, try this, $19. Now, they don't serve any food. They probably serve water at best, but people are trying to just fly. It's really not that, it's not that serious. People just want to get where they have to go, and they don't want to have to spend a fortune. So to hear this story from WTNH, I'm a little baffled by this. This is a small company just trying to make ends meet. They got an opportunity to do something to make some extra money. And it seems like elected officials in Connecticut are trying to destroy it.
Well, Ann and Darren, we talked to the mayor about this issue today, and he tells us that Avello has been a great partner throughout the expansion of Tweed New Haven Airport, but says it's disappointing and disheartening to learn the airline is participating in President Donald Trump's deportation flights.
They, in fact, admitted that they deported someone they shouldn't have deported and are not even trying to get that person back.
Avello Airline is joining the Trump administration with their efforts to deport migrants. The Texas-based company has just signed a long-term charter agreement to fly for the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Not in favor of the move is the New Haven Immigrants Coalition. The organization is asking the public to sign this pledge stating, "We won't fly Avello until they stop ICE flights."
It'd be one thing if Trump was deporting convicted violent criminals, but that is just not the case.
Avello Airlines founder and CEO Andrew Levy releasing this statement saying in part, "We realize this is a sensitive and complicated topic. Charter flying will provide us with stability to continue expanding our core scheduled passenger service and keep more than 1,100 crew members employed for years to come." Meanwhile, reaction from Connecticut Attorney General William Tong. He says Avello has freely chosen to profit from and facilitate these atrocities. The state of Connecticut has an obligation now to review this business decision and consider the viability of our choice to support Avello.
Why not just drive them out of the state of Connecticut? Why not just drive them out? Why not tell businesses that you will harass them until they leave? Go right ahead. That you are choosing illegals over business. First it was, let's bring them in, the businesses in with abortion. Now let's drive them out with immigration. Good job, gentlemen. Brilliantly done. No cheap flights for you guys. Oh, man. Anyway, let's get back into the weather and traffic with Jason Katarina and Mark Christopher. Mark, the question I was going to ask you was, do you wait for your wife to tell you what to buy her, or do you or figure it out on your own when you buy your wife gifts?
She is terrific because for me, her birthday's on December 21st. Christmas is on December 25th. Our wedding anniversary is December 30th.
Goodness gracious.
She's usually, she goes, I'm going to get this. I'm going to order it. Wink, wink, that's your present for me. And and then she goes, there's the box it's in. And then all I have to do is wrap it.
Huh.
So,
okay.
Yeah, she's terrific.
I thought she's like, she has a birthday, your wedding anniversary, and Christmas all wrapped up in
10
the same.
days.
Goodness
Within
gracious.
10 days, yeah.
10 days. Like, she gets all of that. I think what you get is broke.
That's okay. Just as long as she's happy. That's
How
okay.
would I?
You know, it's interesting.
Yeah.
You were talking about engagement ring. One of her former, the late Eric, but he worked with her for many years. And one day we were going out to the old State House in Hartford to watch some band or something during lunchtime. So he slips me a picture of a ring, and he goes, "That's the ring that Patty wants. That's what it looks like." He goes, "You'd be a fool not to marry her." Eric was an older guy, and he was much wiser and smarter than I was. And I kept that picture. And then when I went to order, I closed on my house. I walked, me and my cousin, who's my attorney, walked 2 buildings down. We went into my buddy's jewelry store in downtown Manchester, Braze Jewelers. I threw like a $80,000 check on the table. And I said, "It's time." And they're like, "You?" And I took the picture out of my wallet, and I said, "Can you make something that looks like that?" And they said, "Yep." So that's the story behind the rings.
Wow. Well, at least you had a ringer. I'm not so lucky.
I did.
I need friends.
Yeah, I didn't even have to pick out the ring. The picture was already there for me, thanks to
Lucky son of a gun.
Yeah, seriously, big time lucky. Hey, heading into Hartford right now, southbound 91 delays 33 down to 32, again down by exit 28. Southbound 91 slowing again 20 in Middletown down to 17 in downtown Meriden, down by the Willow River Cross Parkway. Northbound 91's a little slow. Parkway 67 up to 68 and an E northbound Parkway. Northbound 91 moving well. Cromwell up into Winter Locks. Westbound 84 tied up approaching the Bulkley Bridge to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound tied up a half mile before 46 is an avenue to the Bulkley. 291 through 84 okay. 2 westbound slows exit 4 up to the 84 west merge. 9 northbound is tight Harbor Park up to the Aragoni Bridge. 84 westbound in Cheshire delays 26 to the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound slowing by exit 18. 84 eastbound Danbury tight 3 to 5 again by exit 11 in Newtown. Southbound 91 delays getting by exit 60 in Hamden. 95 South New Haven slows 46 down to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Overcast and breezy tonight. A mix of snow and rain late with a coating to an inch. The low dropping down to 34. Then colder on Saturday. A mix of snow and rain in the morning. Another coating to an inch. Then occasional rain and drizzle in the afternoon. Going to make for a damp, raw, chilly, dreary day with a high of 41. And Sunday, breezy and warmer. Still some occasional rain and drizzle to deal with, but at least a high up to 58. Monday, mostly sunny, pleasant and warmer to kick off the new week with the high 65. Couple of showers in the morning. Tuesday, rest of the day not looking bad. After the cloudy start, the sun returns. The high goes back up to 68 for us on Tuesday. Danbury at 48 right now. New London at 50. Mansfield 48. It's 48 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Katarina in the WTIC Weather Center.
It's the Peter L. Brown Company's 65th anniversary. For a limited time, purchase high-performance double-pane windows from the Peter L. Brown Company and get an upgrade to super-efficient triple-pane glass at no additional charge. For a free estimate, please visit peterlbrown.com.
Hi, this is Eric Hogarth from Money Wisdom. Tune in this week and every week to learn more about how to strengthen your portfolio or how to create a 5-star retirement plan. Tune in to Money Wisdom, Saturdays at 8:30 on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Don't let a root canal scare you. Columbia Dental's endodontic experts provide gentle and effective root canal therapy. Open 7 days a week. Call 860-645-0111 or visit columbiadental.com.
A successful retirement doesn't just happen. It requires a plan that is custom built to suit everyone's individual financial situation. Every Saturday at 3, we share vital information on how to build and live a successful retirement. It's On the Money with Jay Dorso. Retirement strategies on building income and proper protection from the pitfalls and the latest news in the retirement universe. On the Money with Jay Dorso, 3 p.m. this Saturday on WTIC News Talk 1080.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like 1 minute. Has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never knew it was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
The self-proclaimed love child of Rush Limbaugh.
They're running a strange program, y'all.
Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we got a lot of great stuff coming up. And, of course, we're going to have Mrs. on the radio on the program right now. I've got plenty of news and plenty of views, of course, to get into as well. But I've got phone lines to answer. Let's start with, look out, Andrew's in New Britain. How are you, Andrew?
Hi, doing good, Reese. I followed up on something we talked about probably 3 weeks ago.
What's that?
Over a month ago now on a Sunday, an 8-year-old boy in the Hill neighborhood in New Haven was shot dead in his home with a bunch of adults around, presumably family and friends.
Yes.
You might want to get together with Morgan Cunningham because that happened on Sunday, and after Tuesday there was a news blackout on it. Seemingly, no follow up, no arrests. If this was something involving a white guy, there'd be handcuffs and perp walks going on.
Okay.
I think at least really Mr. Cunningham should be coming up with answers on this. But feckless is feckless.
Okay, I will check into it. You're breaking up really, really bad. I got to find out what's going on with that. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate you. I don't know why that is. Speaking of Andrew, if you're listening, the young lady you actually introduced me to, Savannah Craven, as a follow-up, if you've heard this story, Savannah Craven was the young woman who was attacked on a Manhattan street a couple of weeks ago. We had her on last Thursday. That an arrest has been made. It was made yesterday. The woman's name is Brianna Rivers, has been arrested. You can actually find the story in the New York Post. She has been charged with second-degree assault, I believe. So I'm going to get in touch. I know Savannah hasn't really made any comments about it, but I think that she's probably being tight-lipped, considering there's going to be a criminal case involving that. So it's probably best she doesn't talk that much about it. But I'm going to reach out to Savannah and see if there's any other details that she can at least share with me. So I'll find that out, and I'll keep you updated. Roland, do I have to reboot the phone in order to stop that clicking that's going on?
No, that's not on you.
It isn't?
It's because the new phone system is all digitally based,
Oh.
and it's relying on our internet. So anytime our internet is shoddy, it messes up the phones. There's nothing we can do about it.
I got
All we can do is report it.
Gotcha. Okay, so it isn't us, and it's not the caller. Okay, good enough. All right, Mike is in Plainville. Let's see if he actually gets through. How we doing, Mike?
You're coming in loud and clear, Mr. Charlie. How about me?
Yeah, your lines are actually coming. Yeah, your line, unfortunately, is coming in very, very shoddy, as is everybody else's. So it's not just you.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. Let me take you off.
No, it's not. No,
better?
it's not you. You're cutting in and out because the line is actually coming in and out. It's not you. It's not us. It's literally just it's internal.
It's Xfinity.
Hey, try and make a point or two.
I can't even. I'm sorry, Mike. We're just gonna have to. We'll have to wing it another way. I apologize, guys. Anyway, I've got some other stuff that I want to play, and I'll get into that now. So bear with me, and I'll play that in a second. But if you want to join in, ladies, I implore you, if you could, join us in the chat room. You can even send me a message. So what I'm trying to figure out is, what do you like better? Your guy, your significant other, whomever it may be, would you rather them figure it out on their own, or do you want to sort of give them hints and then they figure it out? And I don't think us guys, it's tough for me, and I'm going to talk to my wife about this as well. It's tough for me because Roseanne likes everything. Oh, it doesn't matter. It's just one of those things. She is like, every place is a candy store to this woman. So it doesn't matter where we go. Every minute, my wife says, oh, I want that. So it's really difficult for me to sort of figure out, I've got to say no a lot. When we first started, and I think, Roland, or were you always the type to say no? Could you say no very early on, or did you have to be browbeaten into finally saying no to your wife?
No, it depended on the situation.
Okay, so you were always middle of the road on the yes and no from the beginning.
Correct.
Okay, so I did the dumbest thing that a man could do, is say a lot of yes in the beginning, and then
you can't do that.
and then cut her off like a horrible drug dealer, right? It's like, keep feeding the drug, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's like, you know what? None today, maybe tomorrow. So she gets mad at me. She goes, you spoiled me, and now you're going to tell me no? And then what happens, I feel horrible about it, and I go, ugh, and then I give in. And it's not on a lot of stuff. Like, sometimes I got to put my foot down, because if it were up to her, we'd have 85 dogs. Like, that's how bad it is. And it's always stuff. This is the crazy part. It's always stuff that I know she is going to be disinterested in 20 minutes. Like, she wants everything that she wants is fleeting. She wants to she'll like something for a hot minute, and then 20 minutes down the road, she forgets that she was ever interested, which is why I started to say no.
But what they say is, what you did to get her is what you have to do to keep her.
I totally get that. But not when you realize that it's sort of like, you ever buy your kid a toy or something, and they end up playing with the box and having no interest in the toy afterwards? It's like, what did I buy this for? It's just taking up space. The interest is limited. It's finite. And now I know when she starts asking for stuff that I know she's only going to be interested in, it's like wanting a sewing machine. Perfect example. She wants a sewing machine. For what? She's never going to sew, ever. She'll sew one or two things at best. And we have yarn. Her and her sister, they took up this, what's
crochet?
That? Yeah, whatever it is, crocheting or knitting or whatever the case is. That lasted a summer. I don't see any sweaters. In fact, I don't have any.
In the summer?
No, I don't have a scarf. I don't have a scarf to speak of. I've got a closet full of yarn. Closet full. I can wrap myself up in the yarn and stay warmer. But the stuff is still sitting there, and I keep asking, when are you going to throw it away? My favorite answer is, I don't know. I might take it up again. Stop it. You're not taking it up, ever. It's just sitting there forever. Now, I know people that say, like, gosh, what is he complaining about his wife? And he's going to bring her on? Yes. I'm in the year of living dangerously. Matt says, I spent $1,000 on a sewing machine. She never used it once.
God.
She never used it once. I'm with you.
Yeah, but in those situations, you gotta kind of know the person that you're with, and see, oh, they're artistic in this way, or their strengths are this or that. That way, oh yeah, you're not gonna use that.
But shouldn't there be, like, how Donald Trump has for every new regulation, we have to get rid of 2? I think we should do that in the house. I think we should do like,
get rid of 2 old.
Yeah, 2 old
before
things
you bring
before you bring something new. Because it's sort of like the purse thing. Like, I totally understand, or at least I try to. I can't say I do understand. I try to. I try to understand the whole purse thing. Because women say you can never have enough purses.
Yeah.
I don't understand that, but I can. I shouldn't say I can't understand that. I'm a guy. But I can understand how a woman would feel that way. But I believe that a fair and equitable trade would be, for every $200 purse, you should have to get rid of at least $100 or $150 worth of purses or bags. Maybe
that's only like one bag. If
Fine.
That's a half a bag.
Fine. Mark N says, just like exercise machines. I agree. Yeah, it's like when my wife said she wants to get one of those, not a Nordic track. What's the other? A treadmill. And I'm like, only if it's not going to turn out to be a clothes hanger afterwards. Like, we'll get one.
My wife has one. She's like, I want to have this so I could walk on it while I'm working from home.
Yes.
Okay. She did that for like 2 weeks, and now my daughter does her nails on it, or she sets up stuff on it. It's like a shelf now, like a low shelf.
See, and again, that's what I'm talking about. It's got to be practical, and I know I sound like a jerk when I say this.
But I didn't pay for it. That's why I say you have to know your partner. I knew she wasn't going to use that, so I said,
You did.
I'm not going to pay for that. If you want it that bad, you can buy it.
Okay.
And waste your money on it. And she did. Now she realizes she wasted her money, and I didn't waste mine. So.
Well, okay. So what do you do now that you know it's a way? Do you take the initiative and get rid of it?
No. She paid for it. She can do whatever she wants with it. I don't care.
But it's just clouding. It's crowding up the house, don't you? I mean, for me, I can't see a piece of equipment sitting in the house unused. He said about his workbench he hasn't been on in a month. but I'm saying, but you don't you at least even broach the conversation and say, hey, honey, I know you pay for that thing. You think you might want to sell it on eBay or something?
Nope.
You don't.
Because I don't even want to. You don't anything about it. It's not even worth the talk.
You might influence her, or at least interest her in using it so it doesn't take up space, you think?
Yeah, she got 2 gym memberships, and she goes to the gym, so I don't even know why she has it. That's why I knew she wasn't going to use it. Like, once she gets home, you're home. You're not doing nothing. You're going to watch your reality TV eat food.
I think that's what it is. I think that when you're in the house, you're not motivated to work out.
There's no motivation at home.
Yeah, at home, it's like, their house is a place of refuge. That's where you go to veg out. You can't look at your home like a gym. Not when you have couches and chaises and beds, and you can't do that. I don't. Maybe that's the reason why my exercise equipment has been sitting out there for a month untouched. That maybe. Matt says no. The exercise equipment becomes a clothes hanger through that too. I kind of agree. Michael A. says, my wife kept asking me to get her something that goes from 0 to 200. So I got her a bathroom scale. She never asked me again. That's horrible. Okay, so purses are like U-Hauls. The bigger they are, the more crap that goes in it. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and my wife has like 60 purses, and
60?
She only uses about 4 or 5, so... There you go. She has like, I don't know, at least 20 brand new that she hasn't even touched. So, but she still wants to buy a new bag. I don't get it.
I don't either. Well, we're going to bring her on, and we're going to have her yell at me for about 20, 30 minutes when she comes on the air. Yeah, so get ready for that. Mrs. On the Radio, Roseanne, is going to join us in a little bit to explain to me how I'm getting the gift giving wrong. And we'll talk about all that and so much more. We'll get into it, so stick around for that. Now let's get another check of the weather and traffic. Jason Catarinas has your weather, and Mark Christopher is back. He's in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
I have to clarify this story. My buddy Damon calls me. We were talking about how I ordered my engagement ring for my wife. And he goes, "You plunked 80 grand down for a ring?" I said, No. I just closed on my house. I had an $80,000 check.
Right.
The ring didn't cost $80,000.
Okay, because I was thinking, man.
No.
Okay.
No. But he thought I was like a high. He goes, "Where'd you come into all this money?" It's like, no. It was it was from my house. The ring didn't actually cost $80,000.
Oh, so your friend was listening when you told the story.
Well, he was listening to Reese on the radio.
Tell him I said thank you for listening.
Damon, if you're listening, thank you. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, we are looking good overall. 84 westbound, you got delays approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound slows a half mile before 46th Avenue into the tunnel. 91 southbound delays 33 down to 32 INB, and again down by exit 28. If you are traveling into Meriden, southbound 91 delays just after 20 Country Club Road down to 17 for the Wilbur Cross Parkway. Wilbur Cross Parkway northbound, some slow traffic in the construction from exit 67 up to 68 N and E. Northbound 91's okay. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. 291, 384 okay. 2 westbound slows exit 4 to the 84 west merge. 9 southbound a little tight at the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. Waterbury 84 westbound, you're sluggish and stop and go 25. Up to exit, pretty much right up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. 84 eastbound slowing by 18 in Waterbury. 84 eastbound slowing 3 to 5 in Danbury. Again, 10 to 11 in Newtown. Southbound Parkway, look for delays from 61 down into the West Rock Tunnel. 95 southbound, you're slowing New Haven. 46 down to exit 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Sunny and breezy for the rest of our Friday with a high of 51. Then tonight, overcast and breezy. We'll get some rain late. Chilly with the low dropping down to 36. Now, much colder, damp, and raw for us on Saturday with occasional rain and drizzle. The high only 40 degrees. Saturday night, overcast with occasional rain. The low dropping down to 37. Then Sunday, breezy and warmer. Still occasional rain and drizzle, but the high up to 58. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is celebrating 100 years on the air and 100 years of serving Connecticut. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
It's 5 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. The U.S. can deport Columbia University grad student who helped lead protests against Israel last year. After a 2-hour hearing today, the judge in Louisiana determined Mahmoud Khalil poses a threat based on the pro-Palestinian demonstrations he helped organize. Former federal prosecutor Lori Levinson.
Khalil is a Columbia University graduate student who led pro-Palestinian protests last year. And the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, determined that that activism, which he labeled as anti-Semitic, was grounds for revoking the green card, the permanent resident alien status that Khalil has, and deporting him instead.
Khalil's lawyers have challenged the legality of his detention, saying the Trump administration is trying to crack down on free speech. Financial markets ended a roller coaster week in positive territory. Economist Gus Fauché at PNC Financial attributes the gains in part to a potential U.S.-China deal on tariffs.
The fact that we're in a better position on inflation heading into the tariffs, maybe that gives the Federal Reserve a little bit more leeway to cut interest rates later in 2025. I don't expect to see any Fed rate cuts anytime soon, but if those inflationary pressures are abating some, then maybe the Fed does feel comfortable cutting later this year.
This despite Beijing slapping a 145% tariff on U.S. goods. Fauché says some strong economic data in the midst of the tariff whiplash that may bode well for the Fed to take action at some point in light of cooling inflation in March. State Bond Commission has greenlit $10 million to help build a new multi-use complex at the site of the failing Enfield Square Mall, part of a $77 million outlay for economic development, just approved today by the commission. Governor Lamont chairs that commission, says the state's on solid ground to consider financing or continue financing projects through bonding while keeping an eye on the U.S. financial instability.
I got to worry what happens in Washington. They, represent over $10 billion of our budget, and thousands of so-called state employees are subsidized or paid for by the Fed. So we watch that very carefully. I can't avoid it. Wish I could.
Woman is in critical condition. A man under arrest following a shooting Thursday night in Waterbury. This call came in just before 11 last night, a report of an assault at 210 Berkeley Avenue. 44-year-old woman was suffering from multiple gunshot wounds, is currently in critical but stable condition at an area hospital. Under arrest is 56-year-old John Irizarry. The woman's 22-year-old son called 911. The suspect now charged with criminal attempt at murder and other offenses, being held on $1 million bond. The celebration of Passover begins at sundown on Saturday. Over an 8-day period, Jews celebrate their break from slavery at the hands of ancient Egypt. Rabbi Yosef Waldowski is the executive director of Chabad Jewish Center in Glastonbury.
That we are currently going through a process of freedom. In other words, that in some ways in our own lives, we are enslaved and that we have the ability to break free with God's help.
And Seder meals will be served at over 23 locations throughout the state, both tomorrow and Sunday. And for more information, the number to call is 860-659-2422. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
I'm Rick Julius. Cordell. For over 3 decades, Cordell & Cordell has been on the front lines of family law. Divorce is more than just a legal process. It's a life-changing event that can impact your future, finances, and your relationship with your children. You've worked hard to build a life that you're proud of, and you deserve a legal partner who will work just as hard to protect it.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Hartford area attorneys, Phyllis McCutcheon, licensed in Connecticut. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Eat it up, the Hartford Yard Goats. Eat it up.
Yard Goats baseball is back this Tuesday, April 15th for 6 straight games against the Red Sox affiliate. We honor our most improved students Tuesday through Thursday. Friday, the first 1,000 adults get a Connecticut Yard Goats jersey. Saturday, we've got amazing post-game fireworks. And Sunday, we've got an Easter egg hunt, Bark in the Park, so bring the pooch, and kids run the bases after the game. Get your
Here we go.
before they're gone, yardgoatsbaseball.com.
The hour that packs a punch. It's Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
We got the weekend coming. I'm really not excited for it. But you know what? I am going to take up the idea of driving for about an hour and a half. Just an hour and a half. I'm not much of a driver. I used to have this one thing where people used to want me to go to meetings, and I would say, how far is it away? And it was like, it's about an hour and a half. And I was like, I have a 4-song limit when I drive. If a drive is more than 4 songs long, I won't go. And
you ain't going nowhere.
I know. And so I had this one friend who got me to go. I was living in Virginia, and this one friend had me go somewhere. It was beyond, it was on Route 66, and it's a beautiful drive. Don't get me wrong. It was like the sun was setting. It was beautiful. There's a lot of high and low valleys. It's nothing but mountains. It's going towards West Virginia. It was beautiful. Virginia mountains are absolutely stunning at this time of year. And I drove, and I get there, and the guy who invited me knew I wouldn't drive anywhere for more than 4 songs. And he says, how was the drive? Because he knew I would be amazed at how beautiful it was. And he says, how was the drive? And I look him right in the face, and I went, I listened to an album and a half to get here. And of course, he couldn't stop laughing, but it really took that long to get it. I listened to an entire album. The album happened to be Tribe Called Quest, Midnight Marauders, and then I listened to half of the Lab Cabin California album from The Far Side. So I listened to both of those albums on the drive there. Thankfully, those are 2 of my favorite albums, so I really didn't mind the drive because I had, when you know an album word for word, and there are plenty of albums out there that I know people know every song, they know exactly even the interludes, you hum along with them or you sing along with them, and you can mouth them word for word. It's like knowing your favorite film word for word. And so in doing that, listening to the Midnight Marauders and Lab Cabin California, I knew every bit on the album. And if you're singing along to every lyric, you forget how long the drive is. So maybe I'll do that. And that's the worst part, is that I'm going to do that with my wife in the car, who hates my music. She's 9 years younger than me. Every time we listen to Meatloaf, old records, Paradise in the Dashboard Light, and we listened to, what was the other one? 2 Out of 3 Ain't Bad. And she knew none of those songs. None of them. But she knew I Could Do Anything for Love. She knew that word for word, weirdly enough. Anyway, let's get to weather and traffic. Jason Caterina's got your weather, and Mark Christopher, he's in the BPS Traffic Center. I love this song.
Big decision.
It's the
Stop
best.
right there. You're going around third base.
The first thing was crazy about that when we're listening to that song with my wife and watching the music video, which is fantastic. Watching that concert video, my wife is turning around and she's looking at me, and she understood finally the euphemism of seeing Paradise by the Dashboard Light. And she looks at me with this dirty look, like, oh, no wonder you like this song.
Phil Rizzuto doing the play-by-play.
No doubt.
Oh man, that's a big decision.
Phil Rizzuto, wow, Yankee lore, wow.
Yes,
Channel
absolutely.
11 PIX.
Absolutely, he was great. Even as a Red Sox fan, him and Bill White were just an amazing broadcast team on television. Way better than the clown they have in there now.
Yeah.
If you're heading into downtown Hartford right now, Michael K. Mr. Angry, Michael
Don't
K.
like him either.
Westbound 84, you got delays 56 Governor Street into the downtown tunnel. 84 eastbound slowing 46 Sisson Avenue to the Bulkley. Southbound 91, you're looking at delays 33 down to 32 A and B, and again down by exit 28. Southbound 91 slows again, approaching 19 down to 17 for the Wilbur-Cross Parkway. Northbound 91 slowing in Meriden, 67 up to 68 N and E through the construction. Again, you're looking good. 91 northbound Cromwell up into Windsor. If you are traveling 291 384, that looks okay. 2 westbound slows exit 4 up to the 84 West merge in East Hartford. Quiet Middletown. Waterbury 84 westbound sluggish Cheshire, I should say, up to the Mixmaster at Waterbury. 84 eastbound Waterbury slowing by 18. 84 eastbound Danbury tight 3 to 5. Again, 84 eastbound slowing 10 to 11 in Newtown. Southbound Parkway delays getting by exit 60 in Hamden. 95 South New Haven slows 46 down to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
This traffic report is being brought to you by Stu Leonard's Farm Fresh Foods.
This week at Stu Leonard's Farm Fresh Foods, local hickory smoked spiral cut hams for $3.99 per pound. Plus, this week's color, locally grown potted hyacinths, tulips, and Easter daffodils are $7.99 each, or 3 for $22. For more savings, visit StuLeonards.com.
Overcast and breezy tonight with a mix of snow and rain late. We'll get a coating to an inch, the low down to 34. Then colder on Saturday, a mix of snow and rain in the morning. Another coating to an inch, then some occasional rain and drizzle in the afternoon. Damp, raw, chilly day with a high of 41. Then overcast with occasional rain Saturday night, the low down to 35. Sunday, breezy, milder, still some occasional rain and drizzle, the high of 58. And Monday, most...
Uh-oh. Oh, look like he went out.
That would be the interwebs, wouldn't it?
Nah, that's on his end.
Oh, is it?
Join us this Sunday for Tumalo Financial, your go-to for retirement.
Yeah, because they're remote. They don't. Sometimes they use their phone. Sometimes they don't have like a board and where they're talking through.
I see News Talk 1080.
When you're trying to find quality candidates, all the searching, screening, and interviewing can become a job itself. You need Indeed, the all-in-one platform that makes it easy to interview, screen, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Hi, this is Eric Hogarth from Money Wisdom. Tune in this week and every week to learn more about how to strengthen your portfolio or how to create a 5-star retirement plan. Tune in to Money Wisdom, Saturdays at 8:30 on WTIC News Talk 1080.
This year, celebrate Easter at either Evergreens at the Simsbury Inn or Seasons in the Avon Old Farms Hotel. You'll enjoy a gourmet buffet featuring traditional Easter dishes, live music, and there will be appearances from the Easter Bunny. For just $79.95 per adult, you can get out of the kitchen, relax, and enjoy Easter. There are seatings at each location between 10:30 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. For a reservation at Evergreens, call 860-392-0309. For a reservation at Seasons, call 860-269-0240. Reservations will go fast, so call and make your reservation today. Celebrate Easter Sunday this year with us at either Evergreens or Seasons.
When you're hiring,
1 minute.
Have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles?
Hey, I sent you a
It seems
picture. Is that the
impossible
Yard
to
Goats
find them.
jersey that they're
They
giving
have to
away?
be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go.
Oh, I think this is
And
the
that
batting
place is
practice
ZipRecruiter.
jersey.
And right now, you can try
Oh, I have no idea.
You gotta get me one of those.
ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Oh yeah, you can.
I like that
Recruiter
color.
helps 10
They got the yard. They got a bunch of yard goats gear.
These people are actively looking for jobs just like yours. It's easy to find the right person.
And I think they give free tickets to the games. We give
no doubt.
free tickets to the games.
Oh, okay.
Quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free.
Yeah,
That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Reese on the Radio is getting ready to drop some knowledge on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Drop it.
We'll have Mrs. on the Radio in here in a couple of minutes to enjoy this Friday night, ladies' night. Whoever's in charge of them Yard Goats jerseys, holla at your boy, as they say in the hood, at least not since the 1990s. I am digging one of them, especially if it's this blue one. I've seen the Yard Goats. Whoever's doing the designing, these are, I didn't even think that you could put a goat on a jersey and have it look that cool. I love all of these. The old ones, the vintage ones, they are all, every one of them. And it's the weirdest two colors in the world to put on a jersey. Not that I haven't seen them before, but some of the ones that are like bright green with the blue, they work. Like, they really work. And I'm very impressed. I would never wear those two colors together, but I would wear the Yard Goats jersey, this bright green one with the goats in white with the blue line. That one's banging. And I don't own anything that was, I'm not going to lie, I would be seen from space with some of the colors, at least because I'm 6'3". But some of these others are, really, really banging. I really want, there's another one with like the Hartford, it's got like is it supposed to be like a mountain range, it looks like? Well, at least it looks like it's a cityscape. That's an old vintage one. I like that one too. Those are really, really nice. I actually want to check those out. So a lot of people I know that are getting ready to enjoy the weekend, hurry up and do that. Please enjoy. I'm going to try the phones again in a second. This was something people were talking about. I'm going to talk about this on the Sunday show about Johanna Hayes. A lot of hay was made of this town hall they did with CNN. And Johanna Hayes said something that got a lot of people upset in Connecticut. And that is this comment.
I voted for that piece of legislation because of a very specific provision. And it was if it caused injury or death to a police officer, which was one small piece of it. There were other things about, to your point, Caitlin, someone who was was charged but hadn't been convicted. As I've thought about it over the last couple months, I probably would have voted differently. It's a vote that I regret, but coming into this Congress, I trusted that this administration, we would have if they wanted to have border security, they wanted to work with Democrats, that we could actually move forward. I'm not really.
The bill that she's talking about that she regrets voting for is the Laken Riley bill. The young woman in Georgia who was killed by an illegal. Now, a lot of people online are just like, wow, these people want to destroy their credibility as a party. Keep doing stuff like that. Johanna Hayes is safe in Connecticut. There aren't enough people in this state to be outraged enough to get rid of her, although it was a close race both times. But yeah, what needs to be done, and I'll be straight with you, she has got to be made to make more statements like that publicly to destroy her credibility. And I would say as a strategy, and if people think that this is out of bounds, let me respond epically by saying, so the F what? If you are a mom, if there is a mom or a dad or a child who has been impacted by illegal immigration in the state of Connecticut, conservatives need to get in touch with those families. It may not be widely reported in the state, but you need to. And you need to tell those people, to tell Joanna Hayes that what she's regretting is legislation that protects mothers, fathers, and children that has suffered at the hands of an illegal in the state. I thought it was quite telling when I saw this this report this morning on Fox and Friends. Someone sent it to me. It was a graph of, or at least a list of all of these states that had released violent detainees and kept ICE from picking them up. I thought it was insane when I saw it. But Connecticut is in the top 5 list with more than 1,100 people who ICE asked to detain, and Connecticut refused. We're talking about the worst of the worst. Not that they were coming here looking for every illegal in the state. The worst of the worst, ICE wanted them held, and the state of Connecticut said, nah, we'll release them back into the public. So I thought that was odd. But to be ranked number 5 on a list, by the way, that puts California on the top, they released, I think 1,100 was in Connecticut, some 13,000 released in the state of California. Like when you go from California and the other states, I think there was another state that had about 2,000. Let me see if I actually can get this list. I have the numbers in front of me. I wanted to put them up on the screen, but I guess I could read them for you. It was on Fox and Friends this morning. Let me get the actual numbers here. It was, top 5 states rejecting detainers. California had 13,025. Illinois, 2,946. Virginia, 1,600. Massachusetts, 1,300. And Connecticut, as I said, 1,153. That's how they feel about ICE detainers. Nah. I mean, if ICE is looking for them, let's help this guy out. Let's just release him into the wild. It's only Connecticut. Again, it's crazy. So what we need to do is get people in the state, people who have been sex trafficked through some of these gangs. We know Tren de Aragua is in the state. Everybody knows they're here. Get some of the victims of that. Parents who have lost their children to the criminal world of cartels and gangs forged by illegals. That's how you're going to make a statement. It's the only way. They would do it every day. You hear this stupid argument that they're making that was made today about the SAVE Act? What about a woman who gets married and her identification doesn't match her married name? I'm sorry. When have the Democrats ever been advocates for married people? Aren't these people the party of promiscuity? Aren't these people the party of marriages for wealthy white folks? Aren't these people the party of transactional sex? Love who you love. You don't need no paper. Marriage is just a piece of paper that the government gives you. And now they're having this argument about, what about women who are married? I love what Lauren Boebert said. Good, since we're in the conversation, maybe you could define what a woman is. All right, Eric Swalwell making that ridiculous. He was like, if a woman wants to change her name, what can she do? When you hear these people exploit individuals, you got to play the same game, but you got to play it on a common sense level. Show true victims. That's what you got to do. Let's see if we can try these phones again, see if the internet is improved in any way. Adam is in East Hartford. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Reese, I got 2 things for you.
There he is. Perfect.
I'm going to get another one of those peanut butter and jam sandwiches, but this time I'll go to the between rounds on John Fitch, where I go sometimes after church on Sunday mornings. You know?
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. What do you got for me today?
But I'm going to get one that's not going to, where the bagel's not going to be heated.
Yes. You see, this is why I'm opposed to cooked food. Well, not cooked food. I should say cooked sandwiches. I love a cold sandwich any day. I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, go ahead. What were you saying?
Well, no, it's funny you say that because I'll be quick. But there was a large postal worker at the Broadbrook Post Office I met some 10, 15 years ago, and he said that he went to the Big E and he spilled some hamburger squirt and some ketchup or some mustard on his clothes. So you say he doesn't go to the Big E anymore because of that. You know?
Because he spilled food on himself. He blamed them. Oh, that's not fair.
Hey, but what I called about, you know a lot about Facebook, and somebody has sent me a text this morning, something about Doge and open up in Facebook. And I never had a Facebook account.
Uh-huh.
And I tried. This is a conservative woman who listens to Gary's program in the morning.
Uh-huh.
And the woman sent me a text, so I opened it up. And then I tried to set up a Facebook account. Now it keeps saying, we suspended your account, 180 days left to appeal or reportedly disable your account. Do you think they didn't like the Doge thing?
Probably, but I don't know. You know what? If you and you hadn't opened up an account yet, so you tried to open up an account and you were immediately put in jail. That's what's called Facebook jail.
Yeah.
So what you did was start up the account and then went to go share something on the account, and then they put you in Facebook jail.
Well, I went to look at it. Just to look at it.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah,
I don't.
I got to figure that one.
Yeah, you know what? I would, again, for starters, never ever trust anything that you're not familiar with. But in that case, I would have just, you know what? Try to appeal it. If you have a Facebook page now, whatever they did, try to appeal it to explain, or at least get an explanation to what exactly you did, so that they can explain it to you in detail. I've had that happen. In fact, I had a big problem with YouTube once where I had done a podcast about COVID-19 and the vaccine, and there was all of this stuff that they ended up giving me 2 strikes for it, and then they suspended my account. It was a week later when everything that I talked about the CDC then confirmed quietly, and I forwarded them the CDC's actual guidance on the thing that I had already admitted weeks before they did. And then, of course, I sent it to them. And even though the strikes were there, they ended up rebooting or re-engaging my account. Even though the strikes were still there, they said that, to ignore it. But that's what I had to do. So all I would do is protest, or at least contest the fact that you had been put in Facebook jail. And usually they respond pretty fast.
I'll give that a try. I'm going to look for that, and we will talk soon. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, man. You too. Thank you. Beckman says that Jay had a guest on, and his last name was... That's actually... So, was he talking to Dick Van Dyke? Is that what happened? That's very interesting. Now, somebody could actually be put in jail for that. That would be ridiculous. Do I have a minute? Oh, I've only got a minute. He's probably not. Let's see if I can get him in under a minute. Wall Street Joe is on the line. What's going on, buddy?
I don't know about a minute.
So I can't hold you over because I got the wife coming up. So you're going to have to make it a minute.
Well, isn't the wife going to beat you up for not taking my advice a week ago about the...
No, because she's up. She's actually up over $86 on each share. So, no,
Okay,
she's
back.
fine. Oh, yeah, it came
Came
back.
back. Okay, good. One thing, Corey Lewandowski sent me an email last weekend because I sent him an email a couple weeks earlier. You're going to probably see this happen. I suggested that President Trump suspend the national gasoline tax to give some relief to the people that are going to have to pay more for the tariffs, for a short period of time. And he emailed me back. He said, "Great idea!" ! So don't be surprised if President Trump announces a suspension of the national gasoline tax pretty soon, to offset the increased prices with the tariffs.
I wonder, you know what? And that is a great idea. But you know what? Save that for Monday, Joe. And I'll tell you why. Because there's an interesting argument there that I think Donald Trump can actually benefit from. Can you call me at the beginning of the show, roughly around 3:30? Because I'll talk about that. I got so much stuff to get into, and I got to
remember. Yeah, you remember a year ago I told you how I sent a suggestion about him not taxing Social Security, and he ended up doing it.
Yeah,
so.
that's why I said. So wait until Monday. We'll get into that. I appreciate you, sir. Let's get another check of the weather and traffic with Jason Caterina and Mark Christophers in the BPS Traffic Center.
All right, Reese, thank you. Southbound 91 delays 33 to 32. Again, down bikes to 28. Slowing again from just after 20 Country Club Road in Middletown down to 17 for the Wilbercross Parkway. Northbound 91, that moves well. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. If you're westbound 84, you're tight up 56 Governor Street to the Bulkley. 84 eastbound, some tight traffic. 44 Prospect Oakwood into the tunnel. Route 2 westbound slowing exit 4 to the 84 west merge. 291 through 84 okay east of the river. Quiet Middletown. 84 westbound in Waterbury. You've got delays 26 up to the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound slowing 17 to 18 in Waterbury. 84 eastbound, you've got slow traffic 3 to 5. Again, 84 eastbound slowing 10 to 11 in Newtown. If you're southbound on the Parkway, you've got delays approaching 60 in Hamden into the West Rock Tunnel. 95 southbound delays 46 down to 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Cloudy and breezy for the rest of our Friday afternoon with the high of 51. It'll be overcast and breezy with some rain late tonight. The low dropping down to 36. Very little rebound for Saturday. A damp, raw, and a colder day with that occasional rain and drizzle continuing. The high only 40. Overcast with some occasional rain Saturday night. The low down to 37. Now Sunday, breezy and warmer. Still that occasional rain and drizzle around, though, but the high moving up to 58 at least. Now Monday, mostly sunny. It'll be pleasant and warmer to kick off the new week. The high moving up to 65. Tuesday, probably want to set your umbrella out to take with you. We'll have a couple of showers in the morning. Breezy with clouds to start, then sun returns, but the high up to 68 for us. Wednesday, it's going to be windy and cooler with the low clouds lingering throughout the day midweek. The high down to 51 on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
5:30, 48 degrees in Hartford. I'm John Silva. A federal judge chastised a government lawyer who could not explain what, if anything, President Trump's administration has done to arrange for the return of a Maryland man who was mistakenly deported last month to a prison in El Salvador. Woman was shot last night in Waterbury. Police say they were called to a home on Berkeley Avenue where they found the victim with gunshot wounds. Now under arrest is John Irizarry. He's charged with attempted murder and other offenses in that case. Names of the mother and daughter killed in a house fire this week in Norwich have been released. 44-year-old Carmen Vizcaíno and 8-year-old Skylin Owens died when their multifamily home went up in flames in the wee hours of Thursday morning. European countries are vowing to send billions of dollars in further funding to help Ukraine keep fighting Russia's invasion. U.S. envoy pursued peace efforts today with a trip to Moscow to meet with Russia's president. Woman already facing a slew of animal cruelty charges has been arrested again. Sarah Smolak facing charges from 2 additional warrants. She and another man were arrested last month following a raid on their home in Winstead. And the investigation's continuing into that chopper crash in New York on Thursday. 5 family members from Spain and the pilot died when the chopper went down in the Hudson River during a sightseeing trip of Manhattan. Dow up 619 today, back over the 40,000 mark. The NASDAQ wound up 337 points up, and the S&P gained 95. Red Sox baseball on TIC tonight. Sox in Chi-Town to take on the White Sox. 7:10 is the pregame here. Yanks open a series with San Fran at the stadium, and the Mets are late on the coast against the A's. Eastern League, Yard Goats playing 2 in Binghamton. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, where our erectile dysfunction treatments are shown to be effective in well over 90% of cases. Here is one of our patients, Bill, sharing his experience on our ED treatments.
My name's Bill, and I'm a patient at Northeast Men's Health. I suffered with ED for a couple of years, and I wasn't satisfied with my intimate life with my wife. If you have a problem, find a solution. If you have ED, seek out Northeast Men's Health. Go there. You've got nothing to lose. I am having good sex, but it's not just about the sex. Colors are brighter. My mood was brighter. I had more passion for everything in my life, not just sex. everything. I'm going to Northeast Men's Health. Go there, give it a try, meet the people there. They'll take care of you.
Thanks, Bill. It's true. If you're like most men, we'll help you get your sex life back. For just $99, you'll get a medical consult, blood work, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call today, 800-930-5956, or go to northeastmenshealth.com. That's northeastmenshealth.com.
We all hear the radio. IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at tra.com.
800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481.
For your wife, and would you rather have the gift be from the heart, or whether or not the gift should be something that she's already shown interest in? And so we'll talk to her about that, and she's here. Yeah, I got the sound working now. I apologize, guys. So Roseanne is here, and we'll talk to her. Say hello to everybody. So,
hello, everybody.
all right. So Roland, is our volume up high enough?
Speak again. Can you hear me now?
Nope. How about now?
How about now? I can hear you, but you ain't really moving the meters.
Yeah, she's not known to throw her volume up very high. So
Till you make me mad.
See?
Oh, there you go. Hey, Roland.
Yeah. See? Hey. Okay, so we will get into that conversation in a second, and we'll talk about all of this other stuff when we get back. So stick around for that. Also, if you want to air a grievance, the phone lines look to be good to go now. So the number is 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842 if you want to air a grievance. Also, the last but not least caller of the day will win a dozen bagels a month for 6 months, courtesy of Between Rounds, the Bagel Bakery and Sandwich Cafe. My voice is incredibly loud because I can hear myself on her microphone. Can you hear me on her microphone?
I cannot.
You can't? That's impressive. Weirdly enough, I can hear that. Anyway, so that may be the reason why I hear it. So we'll get into that. Roseanne, I'm sure you know the topic because you've been hearing me talk about it for the longest. And you look very adorable.
Thank you.
You look very cute. I'm calling this segment on the show, if you're watching online, I'm calling this the Roseanne Cam so that you can see her while she's communicating with me. Do you think that you could not curse me out during this broadcast?
I have had lots of practice at that, yeah.
Okay, so I'm just saying, I know that sometimes I get you to the point where you lose it on me because I am stubborn as an ox. Is that the term?
You?
Yeah.
No. I would never say that to your face.
So yeah, we will we'll talk about that and so much more before we get out of here and enjoy the weekend. Roland gave me some good ideas. How do you feel about an hour and a half drive?
I'm okay. I love to drive. I love road trips. I think a day and a half is a great road trip. So an hour and a half, sure.
Okay, so maybe tomorrow, if not Sunday, we'll do an hour and a half.
Do I get to know where?
We'll play it by ear.
Okay.
We'll drive aimlessly.
No, you do not.
Okay. Listen, I like Roland's idea. I kind of would like to be, swept up and surprised.
Maybe we'll take Brian Shackman's idea. We'll just throw a dart at the wall, like at a map, and then do it that way.
Are you good at darts?
No, I'm horrible at it.
So am I. We'll have to use a Sharpie or something.
At the rate that I play darts, we could end up in Cleveland for crying out loud. Let's get a check of the weather and traffic with Jason Caterina and Mark Christophers at the BPS Traffic Center. Say hello to the wife, Mark.
Hey, hello. How are you, Roseanne?
It's good to talk to you. Hi, how are you?
She's
all nice nervous. To talk to you, too. It's nice to talk to you, too. How's everything going over there at the Reese on the Radio show today?
Oh, with him, it's always a delight, honestly.
There you go. I love that. Well, you guys will have a nice road trip tomorrow.
Yeah.
And maybe land at a fun restaurant, have a little bite to eat, and have a little fun. At least the roads around here are doing okay if you are heading out for the weekend. Westbound 84, you've got delays approaching the Bulkley Bridge to 47 Sigourney, 84 eastbound tied up, 44 Prospect Oakwood into the tunnel, 91 southbound delays 33 down to 32 A and B, and again down by exit 28. More slow traffic 20 Country Club Road in Middletown down to exit 17 for the Wilbur Cross Parkway. Northbound 91 quiet, Cromwell up into Windsor Locks. If you are traveling 291 through 84, that looks good east of the river. 2 westbound slowing exit 4 to the 84 West merge in East Hartford. Quiet Middletown. Westbound 84 slowing in Waterbury. 25 up to the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound Waterbury tight 17 to 18. 84 eastbound in Danbury, some slow traffic 3 to 5. And again, up by exit 11 in Newtown. Southbound on the Parkway, look for slow traffic now. 60 in Hamden down to exit 59 in New Haven. Looks like there could be an accident there. 95 South New Haven, tight 46 down to 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together
Thank
on
you,
the
Matt.
8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
I used to do that with my kids. I'd throw them in the car and just tell them it's a magical mystery trip and just go do something cool. Anyway, overcast, breezy tonight.
Okay.
Why not?
An inch, the low down to 34. Colder day on tap for Saturday. Again, some snow and rain in the morning with a coating to an inch, then occasional rain and drizzle in the afternoon, the high 41. Occasional rain Saturday night, the low 35. Breezy warmer with occasional rain and drizzle on Sunday as well, the high up to 58, though. Then mostly sunny, pleasant, and warmer to kick off the new week on Monday with the high of 65. Right now, 46 in Waterbury, Danbury at 48, Bristol 49, 50 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Concerned about your gums? Columbia Dental's expert periodontists specialize in treating all gum conditions, helping you achieve a healthy, confident smile. Open 7 days a week. Call 860-645-0111 or visit columbiadental.com.
Is thinning hair or receding hairline making you self-conscious? Stop feeling embarrassed about your thinning hair and start looking and feeling your best with Hair Grow by New Nordic. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com or in stores at your local CVS.
Wesley Financial Group is not a
Now you know
law
why I speak.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record
Everything
straight.
can't
I
be
am
Jamaica,
not an
Donald.
attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like
I
an
like the way
attorney,
Donald
or if I
thinks.
look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you
I
don't
would
need
take
to
an
be an attorney
unknown
to get
discount
folks out of a
flight. Wait,
timeshare.
we're
At
talking
Wesley,
Spirit
we've had
Airlines,
over
like
40,000
Avello.
families
Are we
cancel
flying
their
our own
timeshare
plane?
Without me being an attorney.
Is this a
And I
9/11
wanna
type
share
deal?
with you how we do it.
What are
Just
you
give
doing?
my office a
What, we
call,
take off and
you will
somebody else
not
has to
talk
land?
to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090.
Attention.
1 minute.
Dollars or
Thank you,
more
sir.
in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is.
You know who it is.
You
know who it is.
It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
Yes, it's ladies' night, and the feeling's right. Oh, yes, it's ladies' night.
What a night. Hanging out with Mrs. on the Radio, Roseanne, who's hanging out with Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC. So, honey, I know you heard me talking about this. And this is, I remember the first time you told me this. You said, why don't you just take pictures of stuff that I like and then buy the stuff that I like? And I have to admit, even though I've been taking pictures for the last 3 years of stuff that you like, I've not purchased any one of those things.
Not a single one.
Not a single one. Now, do you know why I've never purchased a single one? Tell the truth. Why do you think?
Because I'm too expensive.
There you go. Thank you. I applaud the woman for at least being honest. Okay? I have to sell a kidney for half the stuff that she points out that she looks at. And it's not like some of the stuff we'll go to that we'll see is like, what's the charm place that you like? It's got the little charms with, you can buy.
Oh, the Pandora.
Yeah, is that Pandora? Yeah.
And I don't like the charms. I like some of the smaller pieces of jewelry.
Okay,
yeah.
so now I look at Pandora. I don't know anything about them, but the first time I'd ever seen Pandora up close was with my wife. And you walk in there and you say, the commercials are always got younger girls, teenage girls, in fact, like fathers give them to their daughters. And the commercials are very, boyfriend, dad, daughter oriented. And in my head, I see that and I go, oh, good. How expensive could that be? It probably costs about the same as a Build-A-Bear. I walk in and with this woman for the first time ever walking into the store, and they start grabbing these pieces and putting them together. And I'm like, okay, what's the ticket price on this item? And we're talking about a good, come on, what were some of the prices that were on there?
I think it was only like $350.
$350.
It wasn't that much.
Really?
It really wasn't.
For an aluminum teddy bear?
It wasn't. Listen, my preferred place of purchasing jewelry is, of course, Tiffany. I mean, what woman doesn't want, nice Tiffany jewelry? But I'm willing to settle for Pandora.
You hear? See, again, see, this is, now, folks, to bring this full circle, let me explain to you why this is full circle. What did I begin this conversation with? I was talking about my ex-girlfriend, Brittany, and I bought her some jewelry, and again, she liked it, right? In my face, loved it, got around her friend, and then her friend tells her, I think that's kind of cheap. Next thing you know, in the middle of a fight, and that cheap thing you bought, so you get my point. So now when my wife turns around and says, well, I'll settle for, I can't compete with that. When my wife says I'll settle for, that means I can't purchase that thing now. I can't, because that would be settling. And by the way, tell me what it was that you would settle for so I understand.
Some Pandora, jewelry, a necklace, some earrings. What's the one with the stones? They do the Swarovski. I love Swarovski.
Rosetta? Rosetta Stone? Would you like me to get you language?
I'm going to put you on a word timeout, which is going to make your show very complicated to finish.
No, I'm sorry. You said stones. I could only think of Rosetta Stone. So you'd like me to put you on a program where you can learn a new language. That sounds about something I can afford.
No,
all things considered.
You really can't. Swarovski. I like Swarovski. I mean, I will definitely take some Swarovski. It's beautiful.
I don't even know what that is.
I know. That's what I'm here for.
Okay, so see, and again, also my problem, I'm incredibly ignorant to a lot of these things that my wife is interested in. And I'm just, I think, and you used to work for Baccarat, right?
Baccarat, yes, men's clothes.
Okay, for the men's clothing. Now,
Yeah.
there's a crystal company by the same name. Are they affiliated?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. See, I don't, and the only reason why I know that is because my other ex-wife, she introduced me to that. I would have never known that was expensive. I don't know any of that. So I think that part of the problem is that I have no style is part of the problem.
I don't think it's that you lack style. I think you lack.
I'm a t-shirt and baseball cap guy.
Well, that's mostly because you're stubborn. You refuse to wear anything else. I would God, I love the way you look in a suit or just. I think you're beautiful. You've just kind of got to relax and let me, change you a little. Modify.
Wow.
Accentuate.
Is that what it is?
Modernize.
Polly says Reese is a cheapskate. I'm not a cheapskate. I'm not. I can't always qualify some of the purchases that my wife might be interested in because, again, she is not cheap. So the stuff that she wants me to buy is usually like it's an investment, but it's in stuff that I know that she's never going to use again. So, like, I'll give you, how many purses do you have, sweetheart?
Oh, God. 15.
Okay. Far less than Roland's wife.
Yeah.
Who has 60, I hear.
Yeah, well, I mean, so let me be honest with you. The jewelry thing is kind of it's a moot point. I don't like to wear it for long periods of time. So I don't, if you notice, even my wedding ring, it's nothing again. Like, it's not that I don't want people to know I'm married. When we leave the house, I put my rings on. I don't like feeling confined. So jewelry's not a big draw for me. For me, it's shoes and clothes, and I love food. Food's like my thing. I love experiences. I like, doing things. So, you're right. In those moments, I am very shiny object. You dangle a set of keys in front of my eyes, and I'll go with that. I'll go in that direction. So I'm aware of that. But in all honesty, if you really want to win me over, you can never go wrong with a nice, expensive meal. Red meat must almost always be included. And or an experience. Like I'm actually really looking forward to tomorrow because I enjoy doing things outside, but the person I want to do those things with is you, even if you grump your way through it.
Okay. Now, let's just get to the core question I asked today for Ladies' Night. What would you prefer from me to you? Would you rather I take a quick little snapshot of the stuff that you like and then buy that stuff? Or would you rather me be inventive on my own? What would there be value in both, or would it be less? Would there be a decreased value in either of those?
Honestly, I do enjoy the fact that you take pictures. In my thoughts, I'm thinking you'll look at this and go, okay, I'm seeing a pattern or I'm getting an idea of what she may be. But you never connected the dots as a kid, did you? You didn't play that when you're in kindergarten. Yeah, it's obvious. You have to sort of create the pattern of, okay, this looks like something my wife would enjoy. But since you lack that skill set, honestly, I think as long as you're not purchasing something for me to display in public, I'd prefer that you create an experience for us. I'd prefer that you came up with ideas and sort of just,
So on your birthday a couple of years ago,
when you took me to Luray,
when I took you to Luray,
loved it.
That was brilliant.
I loved it. It
Right.
was amazing.
Nice hotel, beautiful dinner.
I didn't have to think. I didn't have to anticipate. My expectations were to zero. I figured you would make sure that I was pampered and that I felt, and you paid for me to go to the spa and get my nails. It was beautiful. I loved it. And then there was the whole thing at Lauren's school that
That was, in fact, many of you might remember that was the date Roseanne and I got together. I took her for her birthday, and that evening, as the celebration was sort of winding down, that was the day or the night that our stepdaughter had the shooting in Norfolk, at her school in Norfolk State.
But the year before, on my birthday, was the
and
shooting in our driveway.
Right. Yeah. So, we finally got away from birthday shootings, weird enough. Let's go to the phones, 860-522-WTIC. Lori is in Glastonbury. Lori, how are you?
I'm well, sir. Hey, Roseanne, how you doing?
Hi, Lori.
It's so nice to hear your voice. We hear so much about you, so it's nice to get a voice with a person.
Thank you.
So, Lori, what say you? And I know Lori's single because she's still trying to find her beloved baseball player who plays in the majors. So what would you rather have, Lori? A guy who thinks of it on her own or follows your lead?
I do not do well with surprises, but I am also that, like, let's do a nice dinner, let's do an experience. I'm that person, but I'm also like, I am not a jewelry person at all. I have like the same pair of earrings I wear all the time, and then one pair I wear for special occasions. I like the jewelry that's handed down from generation to generation.
Okay.
That's the kind of stuff that I like, but I also am not a clothes person. The majority of the women in my life know that I hate to shop, so they'll give me their hand-me-downs. I haven't shopped for clothes in a really long time.
I'll shop
Unless
for you,
I have
Lori.
to invest in like shoes or jackets. It's stuff like that. That kind of stuff I'll invest in. But,
Lori, if you had a choice, and an exorbitant income just for clothing, if you had to make a choice, would you do Chico's or Forever 21?
Ew.
I did that one for my wife. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, because I like material with my clothes, I would go to Chico's.
All right, I figured as much. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate you. Thanks for calling in.
You're welcome.
You got it. Have a great weekend.
Bye, Lori.
Let's go to who's next? Steve is in Andover. How we doing, Steve?
Hey, good afternoon. Hey, you missed a prime opportunity there, because when she said Swarovski, you could have done a his and hers thing, because then you obviously don't know, but Swarovski makes top-end glass. So you could get like cool binoculars, rifle scopes, optics, all those kinds of things.
I didn't know that.
You could get her something. You have a his and hers thing, win-win, and you keep the same brand.
See, I would have never known that because I'm not the outdoorsy type. So, I mean, binoculars are not that bad, but I couldn't think of anything that was legal to use them for, to be honest with you. I think they're weird. I've never understood the binocular thing other than for bird watching, or scoping out the enemy from 100 yards.
Well, that too, but if you travel out west, binoculars are super handy if you start doing any kind of wildlife viewing, because
that's true.
You want to see, bighorn sheep or, pronghorn antelope. You ain't getting close to those things, so you kind of got to be sitting back with a good set of glass. So, there you go.
I think, you know what? I'm trying very, very hard to sort of understand the female psyche. The worst part is that I've got Roseanne. Yeah, he's laughing at me already. I know.
Good luck, buddy.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's the amount of confidence I was looking for, Steve. You helped out a great deal.
All right.
Thank you, buddy. Have a great weekend. Let's go to Doc in Howington. Hey, Doc.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, Roseanne, God bless you. But I've been married 42 years, and it's interesting. I used to wear cowboy boots, Western shirts, and cowboy hats. Guess what I don't wear anymore?
Yeah.
All three. Did she put you in loafers, Doc? Are you wearing loafers now?
Hell no. I have a line I draw. What I have found is I learned how to play connect the dots.
Okay.
It took me a long time, a little bit slow. Starboard Irishman. It took me a long time to realize that, okay, she doesn't necessarily want this one thing or this thing. It's this combination of things, that pattern that I had to find. It only took me about 40 years to figure that out.
Yeah, no kidding.
We've been together 40. We've been together 45. So
exactly. It's never a short. It's never short. It takes forever for me to figure out. Look, we're only in our 4th year together. Perhaps in another 30, I'll figure it out. But I'm working on it. I'm working every day.
That's the key thing, is you're working on it.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, boss man. I appreciate
that's
you.
That's the big thing.
You got it. Let's go to our last but not least caller today. Sean's in Meriden. How we doing, boss?
Good. On that, I made the unfortunate, huge mistake of trying to be creative. Because we have 2 boys, and our anniversary was coming up. So I went and had the guy who made her custom wedding band. I had him made a custom ring, floral, with one of my son's birthstones and my other son's birthstone and our birthstone, which is both August in the middle, and I gave it to her as an anniversary gift. And then I planned a bed and breakfast at the place where we had our honeymoon.
Oh, wow.
The same place, and to go antique shopping. Only for her to say when I gave it to her, no, thank you. Can we melt it down and make something else?
I'm just curious. What were the two birthstones on the
We're
outside?
not going to get into that. This is an antique
it's
road show.
It's important.
No,
it's important.
We got to go. We're out of here. Sean, we're going to put you on the hold. Oh, goodness gracious. You hung up already. All right. Anyway.
You already won.
Yeah. Oh, you did? Okay. Well, I apologize. Anyway, so we're out of here. We'll see you next week. We'll try this again. As I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your mind. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on the radio. She is Roseanne on the radio. You have a good night and a pleasant tomorrow. Mark Christopher's in the BPS Traffic Center, and
Wait a
Jason
minute.
Catarinas has got the weather.
Did I just hear that? That guy, Sean?
Yeah.
He planned out this incredible day. I thought this
Yeah.
guy was a hero, and she shot him down.
Yeah, told him to melt it.
Holy
To
smokes.
melt
Man,
it.
I was listening, and I'm thinking, this guy's a hero.
Yeah. And
Didn't
she
turn out that way.
and said, melt it down. We'll buy something.
Wow, that's tough. Hey, Reese and
It's
have a great
Roseanne.
weekend. Oh, I don't have a Roseanne song.
Yeah, no, nobody does.
Darn.
Toto.
Roseanne, have a nice weekend. Reese, have a great weekend. I'm sorry, I blew that.
That's all right.
I can't think of a Roseanne.
Rosanna
song
by
right now.
Toto.
And all you want to do is wake up in the morning and see your eyes, Rosanna. Have a great weekend. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, westbound 84, a little tight on the Bulkley Bridge. Looks
All right, good sir and young lady.
the Vernon exit.
All right,
southbound
man. Have a
91,
wonderful
slows 33
weekend.
down to
Y'all enjoy y'all weekend.
Thank you, sir.
Northbound
Thank
91
you.
moving up
Oh yeah, you should make it an hour to make it more interesting.
River 2
What, an hour
westbound will be
drive?
well.
No, the hour for Rosanna to be on.
Really?
It's not enough. Yeah, the little one segment is not long enough.
Good enough. That's all I need to hear,
Just
buddy.
prior
Thank
to
you.
exit 11, that's back
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
to
All right.
the west.
All right, beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, I guess I'm going to be doing something this weekend. I will not be bored.
Thank goodness.
All right? You guys be good. I love you. Thank you, Carmela. Thank you. I appreciate it. I am going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to do my best to do that. You guys be great. Hey, Monday is going to be chock full of so much stuff, so stay tuned for that. And we've also got the president of the Hartford Police Union on Tuesday, so stay tuned for that. You guys be good, all right? I love you guys. Stay out of trouble.